Hi everyone, trust everyone is doing good. Welcome back to the second episode. That's the second lecture on permutation combinations. We did one of them, and here we continue with the second one. In the first one, we explored the importance of fundamental principle of counting, which is to more to do with the arrangement than selection. We spoke about it. Then also we looked at the nuances involved in fundamental principle of counting. We worked on numbers. Then we worked on the problem based on, digits, the problem based on the letters of the letters to form the words, right? And then like towards the end, we also did, and then we stopped somewhere when we started exploring exploring the gap method and the string method. Of course, we touched both linear as well as circular arrangement parts. So what we'll do is today we'll start with the selection, the importance of selection. Maybe the first half of the lecture will focus on selection. May not be really half, yeah, maybe slightly less than that. Right, we'll focus on selection. Then we'll jump on to the some of the applications, just like the last week, just like the previous lecture. Right? Okay, here we go. Let's get started on this. Let's get started on this note. So let me jump to the topic because we have good ground to cover today, unlike the previous lecture where I tried to keep it much simpler. So yet, well, no, this is a very simple topic, no doubt. We'll try to keep it simpler, but at the same time, we got to cover the vast ground. So let's get started here. So let's get on to the definition. The first one, the number of ways of selecting R things out of n different things. So what is it saying? N different things. We know is, okay, this is nothing but NCR. The first one is simply NCR. Right, the first one is simply NCR. That's it. That's what we've been discussing in the previous class. Number of ways of selecting R things out of n different. The word is different. R things out of n different things is NCR. Second one, the number of ways of selecting R things out of n similar things. Now think about this for a while. Say n similar things. Answer is going to be, yeah, that's right, one. Answer is going to be one. Number of ways of selecting R things out of n different things and similar things is one. So assume, for example, you didn't get that point. All right, let me give a simple illustration there. Say, for example, all right, now you went to the shop and there are 10 dairy milks of 25 rupees each. There is the first dairy milk, all right, dairy milk, rupees 25. Second dairy milk, rupees 25. Assume that you wanted 3 of them. Like this, you have 10 dairy milks. All right, there are 10 dairy milks, each one of them is rupees 25. And think that, okay, you wanted 3 of them. One way, because it doesn't matter which 3 you pick. You can't say that, hey, I will pick them in 10C3 ways, right? I'll pick them in 10C3 ways. No. All right, what is 10C3? 10 into 9 into 8 divided by 3 into 2 into 1. From calculation perspective, 10C3 is nothing but this, right? Yeah, so therefore this is 4 times, this is 3 times. You are trying to say 10C3 is nothing but 120 ways. No, guys, there is no, friends. All right, we don't have 120 ways of doing this. It's just one way. Pick any 3. The billing amount remains same. All right, pick any 3. All right, no, because each dairy milk is similar, identical. So each one costs 25 rupees. 3 if you are picking 25 into 3, 75. All right, it doesn't matter which dairy milk you pick. Right, yeah. So therefore it is 1. Remember. So now that's what we are trying to discuss in this class. There is a difference between the different and similar. In the last class, we focused more on different things when we were doing that. But in this class, of course, we'll also when we look at the selections, what I meant is, hey, let's be comfortable with both the sides. Sometimes it could be different, sometimes it could be similar. Let's get comfort between the two. Okay, let's take a look at the first question out here. All right, not first question, first point. All right, here we have a point number 1. The number of ways of selecting 0 or more things out of n different things. Yeah, think about it. What is it? Number of ways of selecting 0 or more things out of n different things. Think about it. Yeah, good. So that's going to be 2 raised to power n. Number of ways of selecting 0 or more things out of n different things is 2 raised to power n. So you may be wondering how it is 2 raised to power n. Or it know 0 or more things out of n different things. Assume that you have the toffee of the first type, you have the second type of toffee, third type of toffee, fourth type of toffee. Maybe the ingredients are a little different in each toffee. One of them has coconut in it, the other one has more of chocolate in it, the other one has more of, say, strawberry in it. I don't know, whatever is that. Right now the toffee 4. Likewise, let's assume that I have 10 different toffee assorted. Each one of them is different, 10 different toffees. Okay, so therefore the first one, so how many, so there are 2 decisions you can make with respect to toffee 1. You can take the toffee in your hand, you can look for the ingredient, you like it or not. Your selection depends on whether you like the toffee or not. So two ways. What is two ways? Either I select it or I reject it. If I select it, it goes for a billing. If I reject it, it does not go for a billing. It is assorted. There is a basket in the shop. Alright, in that basket there are 10 different types of toffees. Therefore the first toffee can be dealt in two ways. What about the second toffee? That can also be dealt in two ways. It is independent of the way what you made a decision on the first toffee. Take the second toffee in your hand, look at the contents, decide all it know whether you want to select it or not. Therefore the second toffee can be selected in two ways. Likewise, even the 10th toffee can be selected in two ways. So therefore 2 into 2. Why? Because you can deal with the first toffee and second toffee. It is not or means as if it is not there, right? Just second toffee, etc., etc. All right, now that's what you are doing. So therefore what is the response here, friends? 2 power 10. 2 power 10, that's what I wrote here, 2 power n. All right, that's what I wrote here, 2 power n. Okay, let's think another way of dealing with this, because fundamentally, all right, now, so what is the way of dealing with this? Fundamentally, so you say that, okay, fundamentally it appears something like this. So assume that already you have 10 toffees. Assume we have 10 different toffees, just like before, 10 different toffees. So you may select none of them. That's also fine, 10C0, because you don't feel like having a sweet. So in sense, you went and stood in front of the toffee rack, but then you decided that no, I don't want any toffees, I want to have something which is spicy. So then you don't have to select any of the toffees. Therefore 10C0, or because it's given that 0 or more, you entered a shop. When you enter a shop, there will be 0 or more things. More can mean all of them also. You want to buy all of them, shopkeeper never denies, right? Yeah, 10C0, or because it's or you may select one toffee. The point is which one. All right, if you're selecting one of them, then which one? 10C1, the next one 10C2, and so on. And so on. You may decide to take all 10 of them. Even, all right, when you write 10C0, 10C1, 10C2, 10C10, all right, this becomes 2 raised to power 10. If from where this is coming, this is the expansion of the binomial. All right, now in which x plus y raised to power n. If you expand the binomial x plus y raised to power n, you would be writing this as nc0 x raised to power 1. All right, now, so let me write already 10 raised to power 10. All right, 10, because 10 is the example I'm dealing with. Let me take 10C0 x raised to power 10 and y raised to power 0 plus 10C1 x raised to power 9 and y raised to power 1, right? Then 10C2 x raised to power 8 and y raised to power 2 and y raised to power 2, and so on and so on. You can write the last term. You can write the last term as well, plus last term 10C10 y raised to power 10 and x raised to power 0. So if you, in this binomial, if you put x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1 and expand this, because x is 1 and y is 1, therefore this is 1, what you are left with 10C0. X is 1 and y is 1, because 1 raised to power 9 is 1, 1 raised to power 1 is also 1. Therefore what is that? You are left with 10C1. So here x is 1 and y is 1, therefore what is this value? 10C2, because 1 raised to power 8 and y raised to power 2, both are 1 only. So therefore already you are trying to write it like this, 10C10. So therefore what is this here? 1 plus 1, 2, right? Therefore it is 2 raised to power n. Nothing but it's an expansion of x plus y raised to power n, in which both the values of x and y are 1. So two ways I explained this question, because both are important to me. Both are important to me. Therefore you said that this is 2 raised to power n. Whichever way you understood, it's going to be 2 raised to power n. Good. Let's take a look at the first point out here. All right, because that's important there. That's important there. The point number 1 is important. First one is the subset of this. It's a subset. 1a. Number of ways of selecting at least one. What if I see the phrase at least one? Number of ways of selecting at least one out of n different things. That would become what? 2 raised to power n minus what? 1. That's right. Okay, 2 raised to power n minus 1. If you want to select at least one out of n, you want to select at least one out of n, it becomes 2 raised to power n minus 1. What do you mean here? At least one means what? At least one means I want this. At least one means this, the square bracket. 10C1 is fine because you selected 1. At least 1 means what? 2 is also fine. At least 1 means what? 3 is also fine. All 10 are fine. Assume that there are 10 different toffees. All 10 are fine. Therefore 10C0, 10C1, 10C2 like this. But what is not in my favor? 10C0 is not in my favor. If 10C0 is not in my favor, all right, I will subtract this. I will subtract, which means what? This comes on this particular side. This becomes 10C0. All right, 10C0. Therefore I can write this as 2 raised to power 10 minus 10C0. For example, now what is NC0, my friends? Value of NC0 is 1. What is the value of NCN? That is also 1. Also, one of the important things, NCR is same as NCN minus R. That's one of the properties of selection, right? So number of ways of selecting, all right, now selecting, number of ways of selecting r things is same as number of ways of rejecting the remaining n minus r things. Complementary set. Selecting r things is same as rejecting n minus r things. Okay, you didn't understand that. Let me take a simple example. First, to illustrate this point, let me illustrate to you. Right? Let me illustrate that. So for example, alright, you met a child. Alright, to the child you gave 30 different toffees. Alright, you presented in front of a child 30 different toffees. You presented 30 different toffees. You said that, look, keep 3 aside. Alright, now one for your mom, one for your dad, and one for me. Alright, so that's what you used to told that particular child. There is a child, alright, playing. So you went with 30 different toffees. You told that child that, okay, you pick 27. You pick 27, leave 3 for us. Alright, we just will taste one each. Alright, one each we will take it. So you take the remaining 27. There are 2 ways the child can do this particular action. What is one way? Alright, you keep counting 1, 2, 3, select all 27 of them. That's one way. Second way is what? Just reject 3 of them. Which 3 you do dislike, alright, reject those 3 then. So select the remaining 7. So therefore that's the same thing. So what you meant here, out of 30, alright, there are 2 ways the child can do this action. 30 to 27. When the child does this, you say that, okay, so whichever way, alright, you child is, you know that the child is little poor in math. In the sense, child is pretty young, really small. Alright, now therefore, alright, now so because it cannot do the subtraction, therefore you said that 30 C 27. Alright, now generally what happens? Only forward counting will come. Right, so backward counting the kids will not know. In the sense, the subtraction part they will not know, because you said take 27. One child will take all 27. Little mature child, in the sense like the child only. I'm still talking child. I'm not talking about the grown-ups. I'm still talking child. So the other child, little smart, class 1, standard 1, 6-year-old, 7-year-old. Let now maybe 7-year-old. 30 minus 3, 27. The child will know this. Let the 27, 30 minus 27, 3. The other child will do this. He'll say that, okay, I will reject 3. Alright, now one child can select 27, nothing but rejecting 3. Will both the answers be same? Of course, yes, both are going to be same. Alright, both are going to be same. Think about it. What is 30C27, my friends? 30C27 is 30 factorial divided by 30 minus 27 factorial. That is 3 factorial and 27 factorial. Hey, what is 30C3? Same. Alright, this is the same thing. 30C3 is also the same thing. Alright, the value remains same. Alright, therefore, number of ways of selecting R things is nothing but number of ways of rejecting n minus r things. Let's keep that in mind. Thereby, NC0 is also nothing but NCN. Number of ways of selecting nothing is one way. Number of ways of selecting everything is also one way. Let's just keep that in mind. That's it. That's the reason I wrote 1 here. That's the reason I wrote 1 here. Technically, that 1 is nothing but, what is this 1? This 1 is nothing but NC0. Instead of writing NC0, I wrote 1. Instead of writing NC0, I wrote 1. Good. So let's proceed. Let's take a look at the second point similarly. Let's take a look at this point number 2. Number of ways of selecting at least 2 things. At least 2 things out of n different things. At least 2 means what? From here. Alright, this time it is here. The green bracket. At least 2 means from the green bracket. All this is in my favor. At least 2. So at least 2 things out of 10 different things. What I would have done, I need the value of all this. Now it's very cumbersome to calculate all these values. I have to calculate 10C2, I have to calculate 10C3, I have to calculate 10C4. Instead, what? I don't want these 2 cases. I don't want this case. I don't want this case out of the total. Hey, what was the total, my friends? The total is nothing but 2 raised to power 10. Alright, the total was 2 raised to power 10. I don't want these 2 cases, because the case number 2 onwards I'm fine with. Therefore, what you are saying, minus 10C0, which is nothing but 1, minus 10C1. Alright, now minus 10C1, right? These are the 2 things that I'm doing. I hope all of you got this backward way of looking at it. Total minus what I don't want. I don't want NC0. What is NC0? NC0 is 1, right? Okay, minus NC1. Alright, this is NC1. In this place you would have written, here you would have written NC1. If you are writing the general form, this would have been NC0, the other one would have been NC1, right? Yeah, I want you to remember these results. What is the important results here? A is important, B is important, point number 1 is important, because the 1A and 1B are just about understanding alright what we are trying to write there. Alright, no, so in the sense total minus we sometimes do whenever the at least phrase comes in generally. That's how you take the thumb rule. Alright, thumb rule is what? Whenever at least comes, we always think of total. The moment at least comes, it triggers the thought of total. At least means total minus something. The moment at least comes in math, right? Now this should be very clear from your high school. The moment at least comes, it is total minus something. So what is that something? That we need to be clear with. Alright, that we need to be clear with. That's what precisely we did here. Alright, in 1A and 1B here, that's what precisely we thought about. Good. Let's go further. Let's go further. I hope this is clear to you. I'm giving a background to this. Number of ways of selecting 0 or more things out of n similar things. This we already did 1 way. All right, now, sorry, this is n ways. All right, now, so what did you say one way? Number of ways of selecting. All right, now, r things out of n similar things. R things out of n similar things was one way, right? R things out of n similar things was one way. Now, this is built on that particular premise. But what is the phrase here? Zero or more things. Zero or more things out of n similar things. So, what do you mean? So, take 10 dairy milks. Let's take 10 dairy milks. Each one of them is rupees 10. We took 10 dairy milks. Each one of them is rupees 10. Yes, you went into the shop, you saw a carton. All right, you saw a carton. Inside that particular box, all right, there are 10 dairy milks of $10, 10 dairy milks of rupees 10 each. One is tiny ones, 10 dairy milks of 10 rupees each. So what you are trying to see here? So now you are said that okay, you can pick, it's a shop, therefore you can pick zero or more things. When you go to the shop, that's a reality, right? Zero or more things you can pick. So what do you mean by zero or more things? You may say that no dairy milk, I don't want any dairy milk. I don't want dairy milk. Fine, that's also a fair decision. Shopkeeper will never force you to pick at least one dairy milk because you entered the shop. Your choice. Your choice, no dairy milk, all right. So you may say that I'll pick one dairy milk, or you may say that I'll pick one dairy milk, or you may pick two dairy milk, or you may pick three dairy milk. Likewise, you may tend to pick all 10 dairy milk, or you may say that okay, you may tell the shopkeeper that I want all of them. Fair enough. All right, there is a birthday party, I want all 10 of them. In fact, 10 is less, I wanted much more. Do you have? That's what you ask. Fine, take all 10 of them this time. So no dairy milk. How many ways? All it knows. So let's come here. How many ways you can pick 10 out of 10 dairy milks? One way, because they're all identical. Okay. How many ways you can pick 3 dairy milks out of 10 identical dairy milks? One way, because which 3 you pick, it does not matter. Hey, how many ways you can pick 2 dairy milks? That's also one way. All right, 2 dairy milks out of 10 identical dairy milks. See, if it is 10 different dairy milk, you would have said 10 C 2 ways. If it is 10 different, then which 2 it matters, right? No, so which means one is the dairy milk with 10 rupees, another one is 20 rupee bar, another one is 25 rupee bar, one of them is having a nut, etc. There are so enough varieties there, right? Either price wise you can make a variety, or the content, or the ingredients wise you can make a variety. Nothing, it's all same, everything 10 rupees, identical, same things. So therefore one way. So each one of them is one way. Now think about it, guys. So one dairy milk, call it now. So here for one dairy milk there is one way, two dairy milk one way, call it three dairy milk one way, like this 10 dairy milk one way, and there is a zero dairy milks, no dairy milk, zero dairy milk. There is one extra case. Therefore, you would say that this is going to be n plus 1 ways. This is going to be n plus 1 ways. The number of ways of selecting 0 or more things out of n similar things is n plus 1. Just like had it been different, the word had been different earlier, you wrote it as 2 raised to power n. When it was different, you wrote 2 raised to power n. Now, because it's similar, that's how these keywords make a difference. The moment it has become similar, it becomes n plus 1 ways. Okay, let's take a look at the variations of this. That's my statement. That's it. It's over. This is an illustration. That's it. This is illustration. The whenever you get at least, you always do total minus something. Number of ways of selecting at least one dairy milk out of n different things, n similar things, n similar things. What do you do? What was the total here, friends? N plus 1. What I should be doing here? Minus 1. Minus 1. Because at least one, which means what I don't want? I don't want this case. If you don't want this case, subtract that first case, subtract 1, because n plus 1 was the total, subtract 1, nothing but n. All right, nothing but n, does not matter. What I meant is it's always total minus something. That's how you think. Okay, number of ways of selecting at least 2 things. How do you do at least 2 things? N plus 1, what is this total? What you don't want? All right, you don't want the first case, you don't want this case, first case, you also don't want this particular case. All right, now one selection of one dairy milk also you don't want, no dairy milk you would want. All right, also one dairy milk also you want to reject it. Therefore minus 1, because the first case is minus 1, and another case of minus 1. 2 times you will do minus 1 this time. All right, therefore answer would have become n minus 1. Answer would have become n minus 1, and so on, so on. All right, and so on. All right, you can do that. My point here is what? Whenever you get this at least, do total minus something. Okay, I hope all of you got this basic part here. That's it, guys. That's the basic of selection. That's a basic of selection. Technically, that stands the basics of selections. Fine, let's go further. Let's go further. Let's go further. Selection, let's take some example built on this. All right, let's do all right now a couple of examples built on selection. A library has 12 books, of which 3 are autobiographies. There's a small library, these are the only books left. Rest everything has been taken away by somebody, let's assume. All right, these are the only 12 books available in that library. Rest everything has been taken away. Fine, 12 books, of which 3 are autobiographies, 4 are biographies, 5 are comics. All right, there are 5 comic books, there are 5 biographies, and 3 the 4 biographies and 3 autobiographies. Fair enough. So the first question, all right, now this is all the contents of that particular library. First one, in how many ways can one select at least one book from the library. Selection of at least one book, right? Yeah, okay. Now, how is the second one is different? Read that question, second one. In how many ways one can select at least one book of each category, all right, from the library? Meaning, in the first case, at least one book out of the 12 books. There are 12 books here, right? There are 12 books. There are 12 books. Technically, you meant that at least one of 12. I'm not saying exactly one, okay? I'm just saying that at least one of 12. In the second case, what happens here? At least one book of each type means what? When you step out of that particular shop, you'll be having at least 3 of 12. At least 3 of 12. Of course, not any 3. One from each category. Minimum one from each category. Okay, I'm not saying 3, exactly 3. At least I'm not writing that word there. Okay, minimum 3. Call it 3 of 12. Here, the minimum 1 of 12. Minimum 1 of 12. Minimum 3 of 12. That's a difference. That is a difference between the question. Okay, let's tackle the first one now. Let's quickly tackle the first question out here. Let's tackle the first. In how many ways can one select at least one book from this particular library? All right, from this particular library. Now, there is a content. All right, now there is a detailing given. What is the detailing? Assume that books under each category are different. Treat the books under each category are different, because that's important. Because if the books under each category are same, my answers are going to change. We'll see it. We'll see it in the next slide. We'll see it in the next slide. First, let's close this. Let's close this particular one. So what is it trying to say here? Fine. There are 3 autobiographies. Let me call it as 3A. And there are 4 biographies. Let me call it as 4B. There are 4 biographies. And there are 5. And there are there are 5 comics. Therefore, let me call it as 5C. Now take a look at this. Okay, let's take a look at this. 4 biographies. Let me write it here. And 5. There are 5 books. Solid. Now 5 comic books. Now 3 autobiographies means what? Because they are different, the books will look like A1, A2 and A3. The books might look like A1, A2, A3. So what are the choices? Assume that these 3 are kept on 3 different racks, 3 different sections. Basically, like, you know, when you enter a library, there will be a sections, right? So there will be different sections for different books, so that identifying the books becomes easier. So therefore, there is 3A. What do you mean by 3 books of autobiography? Maybe different authors, or different authors. A1, A2, A3, different authors. One was on Benjamin Franklin, the other one is Isaac Newton, right? The third one can be on Rabindranath Tagore. Autobiographies, they wrote about themselves. Let's assume, okay, A1, A2, A3, autobiography books are there. So now the point here is what? You may say that, okay, 3C0, no, I'm not, today I'm not in a mood to read any autobiographies. Fair enough, 3C0. Or what are the choices when you stand in front of the track? This is what I'm talking about, right? You may say that, no, I'll pick I'll 3C1. That's fair enough, 3C1. So one book you want to pick. Which book? Your choice. Already your choice. 3C2. Alright, because you wanted to pick 2 out of 3 books. No, pick it. Which 2? A1, A2 you want to pick, or A2, A3 you want to pick, or A1, A3 you want to pick. You have a choice. Alright, therefore 3C2, when you decided to pick 2 books, you have a choice. Alright, then 3C3, you may want to pick all of them. But what is not in your favor, friends? Alright, now this is the total. Okay, everything is, alright, now this is the total. So what is the total here? Therefore, the total here is nothing but 2 raised to power 3. The total is 2 raised to power 3. That's what you say. So in the sense, I can stand in front of the autobiography rack on which 3 books are kept. You have 8 decision parameters. You can make 8 decisions, of which 1 will be true. All right, which decision you make, I have no idea. 2 power 3 is what? 8 decisions. Similarly, you can stand in front of the biology rock. So a biography or biographies, right? So there will be 4 books. All right, there are 4 books on this rack: B1, B2, B3 and B4. There are 4 books kept on this rack. So you may say, what are the decision parameters that you can have? You may say that, no, I don't want to read any biography. No, fine, that's 4C0. Or I want to read 1 biography, or I want to read 2 biographies, or I want to read 3 biographies, or I want to read all 4 biographies. Choice is yours. Choice is yours. You have these choices. So therefore, all right, what are the total decision parameters? 2 power 4. What is this expansion here? All right, what is this expansion of all of this? All right, 2 power 4. Similarly, you may go on to 5 books on comics, 5 comics books, that is C1, you might have C2, C3, like this up to C5, all right, C4 and C5, right? C1, C2, C3, C4 and C5, 5 comic books. So how do you select them? You may say that I am not in favor of reading any comic book. No worries, all right, I am in favor of reading 1 comic book. Likewise, you may select that I will select all 5 comic books. Good. All right, therefore, all right, I don't have to make a trip for this library for another 1 week's time. Sure. All right, then the number of decision parameters are how many? 2 power 5. So now what is this? You have first track available for you, second available for you, and third available for you. Therefore, what is the total number of ways? First, second, and third. Therefore, you would say that 2 power 3 into 2 power 4 into 2 power 5. That's what you would be writing here. Total, or the first case, guys. I'm writing the first case here. That is 2 power 4, 2 power 3. 2 power 3 into 2 power 4 into 2 power 5. This is what you would be doing, correct? But minus, this is the total minus 1. You may be wondering where this minus 1 is coming from. What if you would have said, I don't want autobiography, I don't want biography, I don't want comic. If you say all three times I don't want, I don't want, I don't want, three times, if you say all it in succession, all right, then you would be returning empty handed. But author said that you can't return empty handed once you enter this library. Author is very clear about it. You got to select at least 1 out of 12. You can't return empty handed. Fine. So there is only one case. What is that one case? When all these three coexist, you may say two times no. All right, you may say that autobiography I don't want, biography I don't want. That's okay. All right, that is fine. But you can't say that all three times I don't want, I don't want, I don't want. Then you'll be returning empty handed. That's that. All right, that particular case is that particular case is removed. So therefore you say that, hey, well, that is one particular case. Only one case in which you may say that in succession. In succession, the word is in succession. You can say only once in succession like that, right? So that is one case which should be removed. Therefore, what is your answer? 2 power 12, 2 power 12 minus 1. All right, 2 power 12 minus 1, that is 2048. As 2040, that's nothing but that is nothing but 4096 minus 1. That's for 4095 ways. It can deal it in 4095 ways. That's going to be your answer there. Okay, now take a look at the second one. Why did it do like this? I could have explained this like this as well. So I could have explained it easily like this: A1, A2, A3. Then you have B1, B2. Like this, you have till up to C5. First book, two choices. Second book, two choices. Third book, two choices. What do you mean by first book? You look at the contents of the first book and say that, okay, I want it or I don't want it. Two ways. Either you select it, put it in your basket in a cart, or you don't, you reject it. Two ways. What about the second book? Look at the prefix, all it, look at the preface of the second book, and then decide all it, you want it or you don't want it. Similarly, go for the third book. Like this, two books. How many books are there now? 12 books are there. Three books here, another four books here, another five books here, 12 books. All right, therefore 2 raised to power 12. That's good. 2 raised to power 12 minus 1. 2 raised to power 12 minus 1. Why minus 1? What if you would have said that reject, 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 everything is reject? All right, that one case has to be removed. You can't reject everything. All right, so that happens in succession only one time. So that case has to be rejected. That case has to be removed. It's fine. That's also 2 raised to power 12 minus 1. Whichever way you think, I'm game. But I was doing this because I was having the scaling factor in mind, because I was thinking that, okay, I will explain the second question as well. Let's think about the second question. All right, second question here. Okay, in how many ways one can select at least one book of each category? At least one book of each category means what? This is knocked out. This is knocked out means what? 2 power 3 minus 1, because what is the value of 3C0? The value of 3C0 is 1. So therefore, what you are writing here for the second question, 2 power 3 minus 1. That is the number of decisions made against the 3 autobiography books. So what about here? 4C0 is knocked out. Why? Because at least one book of each category you should select. Therefore, 2 power 4 minus 1. 2 power 4 minus 1. All right. How about here? 5C0 is knocked out. Therefore, 2 power 5 minus 1. Therefore, 2 power 5 minus 1. Okay, what is the first one? Therefore, all right, now here it is 7 into 15, all right, into, all right, 31. We can do that product, all right, that becomes your answer. My point here is, okay, where I was using the points that I've taught you. I taught in isolation on one point only. But here, this is how you're applying that particular point. We talked about it. We learned about this. Writing this minus 1. Whenever the at least one comes, what we said? We said that, okay, doing that minus 1. That's where I'm doing here. That's what these minus 1s I'm teaching you here. Right now, simple question. Okay, let me change this. I'll let this word different. I'll let now here the word was different. Let me change that word to same. I'll let similar. So let's quickly write the answers once I change the similar. So here is a question. Here is a question. Will you all try make an effort to write it quickly? Quickly try and write an answer for both the questions. Quick try, try out, try out, try out, try out. The books are copies or they are similar. The books are all same and copies. That's the only thing which is changing. Composition of the library is same. All right, but the books under each category are similar. Try and write an answer quickly. Take a minute. Try and write an answer, friends. Yeah, good. I'm sure you might have made an effort to put the numbers. All right, let's take a look here. The library has 12 books, same way. All right, now this time what has happened? If there is category A, that is autobiographies, 3 A's. So all 3 A's are same. That is nothing but A, and A. All right, now all 3 are A's. That's nothing like A1, A2, A3. All of them are going to be A. Yeah, all of them are going to be A. So therefore, what are the choices that you say here? No A, or you may say that I will pick 1A, or I will pick 2A, or I will pick 3A. Totally how many ways, guys? 4 ways, right? Now, because this can be done in one way, this is done in one way, this is done in one way, and this is done in one way. Similarly, you go to the next track. All right, there are 4 B's on the track. I'm just explaining this. 4 B's. So there are B, and B. Why? Because they're all copies. It's not B1, B2, B3, B4. All are going to be B. So therefore you say that no B. You decided not to read any biographies. Fine. Then don't pick. So you may pick 1B. You may pick 1B. You may pick 2 B's also. You may pick 2 B's also. You may pick 3 B's also. And you may pick all 4 B's as well. There is nothing wrong about it. Assume that, okay, you wanted to give it to your friends as well. You like that biography so much that, okay, you requested librarian, I want all 4 biographies because I want all my friends also to read this. It's very inspiring biography. I want them also to read it. That's fine. If librarian agrees, if there is something like that, that kind of provision is there in that library, fine. You can pick them in 5 ways, or at 5 ways, because this is one way, this is one way. I already explained this while doing the concept. So 1, 1, 1. How many ones? 5 ones. Therefore 5 ways. Similarly, you go to the next one. All right, there are 6 comic books. There are 6 comics books. So what is that? All right, no, so sorry, 5 comic books. There are 5 comics books. This is what you write. All C, no C1, C2, C3, because they're all similar. So what do you end up doing? No comic. Fine. So 1 comic like this. You may say that, oh, I want all 5 comics. Fair enough. So all of them can be done in one way. Therefore, how many decisions? 6. So therefore, what you are saying for the first one, total will be 4 into 5 into 6. Right, 4 into 5 into 6, of which, had you been saying this simultaneously, I don't want autobiography, I don't want biography, I don't want comic, that's the only case where you'll be returning empty handed. If you see in three successions, if you say, all right, in succession, if you say that no, 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 then you are going out of the library without a book in your hand. That is ruled out. That one case of saying in succession is ruled out. Right now, therefore 120 minus 1, so which becomes 119. That would be the result for the first question, right? That would be the result. I hope all of you understood. Very similar explanation, just the way we did before, but there we used to write 2 power 3, etc. Instead of writing 2 power 3, you are using the concept of n plus 1. You are basically using the n plus 1. 3 books are there, therefore you can select this in 3 plus 1 ways. The 4 books are there, 4 identical books are there, therefore 4 plus 1. That's what you wrote it as 5. Yeah, right? That's a concept I'm talking about. Good, all of you would have got this. Okay, second one, in how many ways one can select at least one book of each category? At least one book of each category means what? This is ruled out. I can't have this. At least one book of each category means this. Therefore, first case is ruled out. 4 minus 1 you will write. All right, 4 minus 1. So therefore, you are writing it as 4 minus 1. That is nothing but 3 cases. All right, that is 3 cases. Similarly, this is ruled out because you can't say that I don't select any biography. You must, because one book of each category. So therefore, here it is going to be 5 minus 1. This time it's going to be 5 minus 1. So here it is, all right, this is ruled out. Therefore, it is going to be 6 minus 1. Therefore, you are saying that this would be 3, 4, or 3, 4 and 5. All right, now that would be the answer this time, which is going to be 60. The moment at least one book you got to take it, all right, result would change from 119 to 60 ways. All right, that would be the difference based on the condition. All right, almost it becomes half of it. Almost it becomes half of it. That's how the condition would change. All right, based on the condition, that's how the result can change. Okay, fair enough. All right, you might have got this point now. So what technically they can do in the exam is they don't have to make all books different or all books similar. They may make some books under category different, some books under the category same, and they will deal with it fine. But then two extremes, so therefore you can tread the medium path, you can tread the median path. Well, it should not be a worry because both the extremes out there, right? Okay, let's go further. Let's go further. I hope all of you got the good grip on this. Good grip on this. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. So let's take, all right, we'll come to that later. Let's do this. All right, let's do this. Let's do the core of selection before, and then we will go to the other applications. We'll come back to the other questions. Let's see them. Once we're equipped to handle them, we'll try and handle. Let's take a look. In how many ways a committee of 4 members can be formed out of 7 members? seven members of a club, such that two siblings A and B are always selected. Simple. Already now I spoke to you in the last class about this. Two siblings, just this is selection. Committees are generally the selection because you are not giving them any post. Alright, 4 out of 7 needs to be selected. 4 members out of 7 members. Alright, now such that the two sibling A and B are selected. Pre-decision, or it means conditional. Alright, conditional. A and B must be there. I said that whenever that extra bit of condition comes, you better select it beforehand. Alright, now whenever there is an external condition which is imposed, alright, now we called it as implicit restrictions, explicit restrictions. Explicit restriction has been put. I said first meet that explicit restriction, alright, work on that explicit restriction. So that's what it's here. So A and B must be selected. You want a committee of 4 people. So I'll assume that their names are A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These are the 7 folks. Let's assume these are the 7 folks. Assumption 7 folks. Alright, now I'm doing 3 questions on this. First one. So A and B must be there. Alright, first question. A and B must be there. Therefore, you're forming a committee of 4 people. You're forming a committee of 4 people. A, one way. B, I want one way, because you don't have a choice. You're mandatory, but you want another 2 people. This is your choice. Selector. You are a selector. So it's your choice. Already you are the selector. That's your choice, because the other 2 has been decided by the board. They said that A and B must be there. Yeah. Okay, A and B are there. They are the captain and vice captain, whatever. Already now they are the secretary, president, whatever. 2 people are there, A and B. So other 2, your choice. Other 2, your choice means what? How many are left after A and B are gone? How many are left? Another 5 folks are left. 5C2. Alright, 5C2. Answer to the first question therefore is 5C2. Good. Alright, 5C2, because 1 into 5C2, what is the overall answer? 5C2. That's the answer. 5C2 is 10. Alright, therefore you are trying to say that 10 ways. Alright, 10 ways you can form that particular committee, provided A and B are already there. Second question. Let's go to the second question. Exactly one among A and B is selected. What do you mean by exactly one among A and B is selected? A is selected, but there is no provision for B. No matter what, B cannot be selected. Okay, that's one. Or B is selected, but there is no provision for A. You should not select A. You should not select A here. Or means what, friends? We said that it is plus. Okay, A is selected. A is selected means one way. B is not selected means what? B is rejected. That's going out. So therefore, how many ways? Already A is already selected. B is rejected. So how many I want here? 5C2. Alright, 5C3. Out of the remaining 5, I want 3 people. Alright, now 1, 2, 3. 3 gaps to be filled. Alright, which means 3 posts to be filled. It's not a post. Basically, you got to make 3 selections. How many ways you can make 3 selections? 5C3 ways. Out of the remaining 5, it is not 6C3. A can be selected in one way, because A must be, at least one should be there. I said that A is there. Alright, done. 5C3. Same thing goes here. B gets selected in one way. A is rejected. Therefore, you are going to select 3 out of the remaining 5 people. Alright, therefore 5C3. So you are writing it as 5C3 into 5C3, right? 5C3 into 5C3. That is 10 plus 10, 20 ways. Alright, 20 ways. That's what you would be saying for the second one. Hey, what about the third one, friends? What about the third one? At least one. I told you right now, whenever you get this at least one, think total. All right, I'm not saying that 100% it will be useful, but whenever at least one comes, the best way to tackle is total minus something. Yeah, what is something? At least one among A and B is selected. At least one among A and B selected means what? All right, A is selected, B is not selected, or B is selected, A is not selected. Both A and B are selected. Assume that this was the only question which was asked. Or the third, the 3 cases here. At least one among A and B selected means what? Case 1, A is selected but not B. Case 2, B is selected but not A. Case 3, both A and B are selected. 3 cases. The best way to deal with this is what? Total minus none among A and B are selected. None among A comma B are selected. That's the best way to deal this. The best way to deal this. Those cases I need to remove. Okay, total how many ways, friends? 7C4. Totally how many ways? 7C4. None among A and B are selected. None among A and B are selected means what? A rejected and B rejected. Okay, none among A and B are selected means only 5 people are there. Out of 5 people, I need to select 3 people. Alright, out of 5 people, out of 5 people, I need to select 4 people, because 4 members have to be selected. Alright, none among A and B are selected means what? A and B are not even considered. So therefore, among the remaining 5 people, you just have to select 4 people. Alright, which becomes my answer. Alright, that would be my answer there. Okay, so that's another way. Instead of making 3 cases, this is easier to deal. 7C4 minus 5C4. Alright, that becomes the answer to the third one. Okay, so point here is I also wanted you to quickly understand how each question is little different while selecting the committees, how you need to also be mindful about the word at least one, because this at least one is a kind of a phrase which is going to be used time and again. Simple one. Let's simple one. Okay, so another questions on selection. These handshakes are technically the questions on selection. 5 persons meet in a room and each one of them shake hand with every other person. How many handshakes will take place? Right? Simple question here. How many handshakes will take place? Is it a selection or arrangement? It's a selection, right? Handshake is a selection. What do you got to do? There are 5 folks, A, B, C, D, E. Say, all right, there are 5 folks. There are 5 folks A, B, C, D, E. Selection is required. A shakes hand with B is same as B shakes hand with A. You can't say that A shaking hand with B is different from B shaking hand with A. Why? You have to consider one hand of each the fellows to make a handshake, right? A and B. Similarly, A shakes hand with C, A shakes hand with D. Likewise, so A shaking hand with B is same as B shaking hand with A. Right now, similarly, C shaking hand with D is same as D shaking hand with C. Therefore, what is that I'm talking about? Just select 2 people and they will shake hand and make them shake hand. So therefore, how many handshakes can be made? 5C2. Why 5C2? You got to just bring 2 people together to make a handshake. So assume that COVID situation, handshakes are not possible. So how do you greet them? Maybe say that already know the namaskar, holding the hands or folding the hands. Alright, you bring both the hands together. You bring both the hands together. Say that instead of handshakes, 5 persons meet in a room. Each one of them greets namaskar. Alright, now greeting. So what is that greeting? Each one of them make a namaskar. Alright, namaskar, let's say I'll change the word namaskar. Alright, with every other person, each one of them gives alright, now makes a namaskar to the other person. Alright, now so with the other person, so therefore how many namaskars will be made? Let's say that, okay, how many namaskars have happened? Now here the answer is going to be 5p2. Now the moment answer becomes 5p2. Why? Because A making a namaskar. Alright, now when A and B are met together, alright, our 5c2 into 2 is fine. 5c2 into 2, that's also fine. Select 2 people, A and B are brought together. Now both have to fold their hands. It is not that A is folding his hands and B is not folding. Both should fold their hands. Both should fold their hands. Therefore double. Already it would become double. Already handshake was 1. When A and B were shaking hand, it was 1 handshake because both fists will come together. It's only 1 handshake. But when namaskar is made, it becomes 2 namaskars between the 2 people. So directly you can write 5p2 or you can write it as 5c2 into 2. Just be careful what kind of language being used, what kind of question has been used. Now we are in a COVID situation, so therefore the situation may change. All right, now handshakes will go away, namaskars may come in, bowing down or namaskars may come in. All right, yeah. Anyways, nevertheless, I just made it clear that what is selection and what is arrangement through this, right? Yeah, because some things are selection, some things are arrangement. Okay, another important area where the selection is used is the geometric objects. All right, where the geometric objects. So what is that? Basic geometric objects are what? At times they may ask us to count the number of lines. All right, now what is given here? Points will be given to us. All right, points will be given, n points. Given n points, no 3 are collinear. No 3 are collinear. What do you mean by collinear? Collinear means they come on the same straight line. Say for example, this. All right, now these 3 points are said to be collinear. Assuming they fall on the same straight line, then they are said to be collinear. Hey, why no 3 points are collinear? All right, no 3 are collinear. 2 are always collinear. You take any 2 points, you can always draw a line to through point. Wherever you write that point, all right, now does not matter. So therefore, I said that no 3 points are collinear. Collinear means, all right, they are on the same straight line. All right, given n points, no 3 are collinear. No 3 are collinear. How many straight lines can be formed therefore? All right, how many straight lines can be formed? All right, how many triangles can be formed? Generally, these are the 2 typical issues. All right, these are the 2 typical issues that are going to be asked. Okay, yeah. How many straight lines can be formed? Number of straight lines that can be formed are nothing but nc2. Why nc2? To form a straight line, if there are n points in the plane, you just have to select 2 points. All right, 2 points. Let's assume that, okay, now these are my about 5 points. I've drawn about 5 points on the plane. Let me highlight them, otherwise you'll not be able to see where I put those points. Assume these are the 5 points on the plane where no 3 are collinear. Fair enough, this is all right. So now to draw a straight line, let me give names also so that when I call, you will be able to answer. You'll be able to understand better. A, B, C, D. Let me give the names to them. A, B, C, D. So once you decided point A and B, all right, point A and B. Now, whether you draw a line from A to B, all right, A to B, or you draw a line from B to A, does not matter. You will say that one straight line has been formed between A and B. Simple, that's it. So therefore, it's a selection. Decide the 2 points. A and B is the points decided. Then just draw a line between them. So whether you start from A and end at B or start with B and end at A does not matter to me. It is one line. AB is one line segment, right? Similarly, B is another, AE another line segment, and so on. Just decide the 2 points. It is done. Therefore, what? It's an issue of selection. Number of straight lines is issue of selection. Okay. What about triangles? What about triangles? NC3. What do you mean by NC3? Take any 3 points. For example, now you select A, B, and E is selected. Only one triangle can be formed. You can never form the second triangle. If you select AB as the 3 points, only one triangle can be formed. You may say that no, I will select ACD. Fair enough. Even if you select ACD, only one triangle can be formed. Alright, given 3 points, only one triangle is possible. Alright, therefore, alright, now so number of triangles is what? NC3. Because after selecting 3 points, assume that you selected a point A, you selected a point C, and you selected a point D. Now, which lines you put it first does not matter. Will you draw this line first? Hey, no, I will draw this longest line first. It does not matter whether you draw the longest line first or shortest line first, does not matter to me. So what it matters is you decided 3 points, close them. That's it, close them. Whichever way you like to close, you please close them. That forms a triangle. Therefore, what? It's an issue of selection. Already, it's an issue of selection. Point is, there are some of the important issues on selection I'm just bringing up here. Okay, so therefore it becomes NC3. Number of straight lines that can be formed is NC3. Fine, all right, that's about. Sometimes what happens is they deliberately make it collinear. Not sometimes, they generally make some of the points collinear. All right, they generally make some of the points collinear. Given n points, all right, given n points, they start like this. Given n points, all right, now k points are collinear. Given n points, k points are collinear, where k is more than 3, of course, more than 2. All right, k should be minimum 3. The value of k should be at least 3, because you can't say that if k points are collinear and they are 2. No, then it does not make sense. Then no 3 points are collinear, because 2 points are always collinear. All right, given n points, k points are collinear. That's k is greater than or equal to 3. Minimum 3 should be there. K points are collinear. How many straight lines can be formed now? All right, how many straight lines can be formed? How many straight lines can be formed? That would be, assume as if nothing is collinear. Assume as if nothing is collinear. Then you will be able to form NC2 straight lines. But because k points are collinear, subtract KC2 lines, but add back one line. Add back one line, because when you subtracted KC2 lines, the longer line also got erased. All right, the longest line also got erased. Okay, let me take some example here. Let me take example. All right, now say, all right, there are only 3 points here. There were 3 points like this there were 3 points in a plane. Let's take a 3 points. Yeah, how many straight lines can be formed? 3C2. Right, 3C2 straight lines can be formed. 3C2 is what, friends? 3 straight lines can be formed. Perfect. Yeah, what are the 3 straight lines? Here till here. All right, here till here, and then here till here. All right, now here till here. This is the shortest line. Second longest line. This is the longest line. Okay, that's how you form the 3 straight lines. Let's keep it in mind. This time what I do is, okay, so assume that there were 3 points here. Okay, let me take a nice scenario here. There were 3 points here. So 3 points here. All right, now I was teaching you. While I was teaching, I said that, guys, I will draw the shortest line first. This is the shortest line between the points. I know that 3 straight lines can be formed. I will draw the shortest line. I will draw the second shortest line, and then I will draw the longest line. Fair enough. All right, now that is what you have drawn. Good. So 3 lines. Now one of your friends came inside. Then he started seeing that, hey, what is that happening on the board? He said that, okay, tell me how many straight lines are there. So he will say that 3 straight lines are there. Simple. If you ask him how many straight lines this diagram is made up of, he will say 3 straight lines. How many straight lines you can see? Simple answer, 3 straight lines I can see. Very good. Assume the second scenario. Second scenario, what I'll do is I'll bring this point up onto the same line. I'll just bring it up. A deliberate attempt. I'll just bring it up. All right, that's up here. All right, now this point I bring it up, this point I'm just bringing it up. Then I will say that, okay, shortest line here, just like I did here. Shortest line, I said I'm doing the shortest line. Second shortest line. Second shortest line is from this point to this point, but this point is here. Second shortest line. And then what you will do, this is the longest line. So longest line means from this end to this end. I will draw this end to this end. This end to this end. Okay, points I and you can see because I highlighted them. Okay, yeah, I highlighted a little bit. But all right, now if the point is a point, if I just drop a point like this and I say that this is the shortest line, this is the next line, and this is the next line. All right, now ask your friend how many lines are there. He will come and say that 1 line is there. But you will say that no, there are 3 lines, please see properly. So he will smile at us saying that, okay, don't try to fool me. There is only 1 line there. Okay, so what is that here? If k points, what is the value of k here, friends? 3 points. So you know that there were 3 points and you tried to deliberately draw 3C2 straight lines. But I am saying that there are no 3C2 straight lines. Where can you see 3 lines there? There is only 1 line. So therefore, what did you do? Minus, because what was the value of k3? All right, kc2. That's what you are saying, that kc2. All right, total was also n. N is also 3 here. In this example, n is 3 and k is 3. All right, okay, NC. All right, first you did NC2. All right, that is nothing but 3C2. And then you did KC2. All right, that's nothing but 3C2, because N and K were same here. I took only 3 points just to illustrate this point. But if you do 3C2 minus 3C2, 0, you are trying to say that if I give you 3 points which are collinear, then I can't draw any straight line. Come on, you can always draw one big straight line. One big straight line connecting end to the end point is always possible. That's why I said that add this one. Add this one. So okay, I took n is equal to 3 here and k also equal to 3 here, just to illustrate as an example why I should add 1, because the longest line also will get erased if you just do minus 3c2. Therefore add back 1. Every time add back 1, because sometimes the people in a hurry, they'll forget that adding back 1. Don't forget to add back 1. That is it. That happens only in triangle. Don't worry. All right, it doesn't, sorry, that happens only in straight line. It does not happen in a triangle. There is no situation in a triangle like this. Okay, let's draw the triangle here. Let's come to the triangle. Let's come to the triangle. How many triangles can be formed given n points? K points are collinear where the value of k is at least 3. How many triangles can be formed? Answer is nc3 minus kc3. No adding plus 1. There is no business of adding plus 1. It becomes nc3 minus kc3. I hope the concept is clear here. Concept is clear. At least straight lines and triangles you should remember. You should remember. I'll come to further few points at a later stage. But at least this much let's remember and go to the problem here. Let's go to the question. Let's go to the question. Let's go to the question. All right, let me do the first part for you. Let me do the first part for you. Part A I will do. Read the question. There are 10 points in a plane. I've shown it. I've shown it. There are 10 points in a plane. No 3 of them are collinear except 4 points which are collinear. No 3 other than these 4 are collinear. I've shown this. Now these are the points which are collinear. Now these are the points which are collinear. You leave these 4 points. No 3 of them are collinear. Right? There are the remaining 6 points where I've shown it here. Okay. Now the question is find the number of straight lines that can be formed. Simple. Assume that none of the 10 points are collinear. Just assume that none of the 10 points are collinear. If none of the 10 points are collinear, you would have written 10c2 straight lines. Correct? 10c2 straight lines, but minus. But these 4 points are collinear. These 4 points are collinear. Therefore, you will say that 4c2. Right? Therefore, you would say that 4c2 because you are saying that 6 straight lines are formed. How? There are only one straight line that you will see. Here the points are highlighted for our reference. But point already now the line is made up of infinite points. How do you know that already you took 4 points to draw this particular straight line? How many lines are there? Already now your friend will say there is only one line I can see. That's it. You can't say that. You cannot disprove and say that there are 6 lines, there are 6 lines there. No, there is only one line. If I draw this line and if I say one line there, you can't say that, hey, no, actually there are 7 lines here. What 7 lines here? There is only one line there. Similarly, all right, therefore that is minus 4c2 but plus 1. Hey, why that plus 1? Because one longer line will be seen. Right? There will be that one longer sign. All 6 cannot be ruled out. That longest line is always available there. Okay, plus 1. So that's the answer to the first question. That's the answer to the first question. Quickly, you write the answer to the second one, friends. Write the answer to the part B. Quickly write the answer to the part B. Write answer to part B. Good. All right. Therefore, 10c3. What is 10c3? Assuming none of the 10 points are collinear, no 3 of the 10 points are collinear. You can write 10c3 triangles. But the point is, if you draw already using these 4 points, if you draw triangles using these 4 points, all right, those won't be the triangles. Therefore, minus 4c3. See, for example, assume that okay, you selected this point and this point and this point. How can you form a triangle using these points? It will only become a straight line. You connect this with this, you connect this with this, you connect this with this. Do whatever you want. It's a straight line there. You cannot form a triangle. Therefore, you are subtracting because these 4c3, all right, now they were not the triangles. They're actually straight lines. Therefore, you subtracted straight lines. All right, total minus straight lines. Now you are left with triangles. This is the total. All right, out of the total, you subtracted straight lines. These were the straight lines here. Total minus straight lines has become the triangles, right? Yeah, good. I hope all of you got this particular concept. Pretty simple one. Right, pretty simple one. Simple concept. Okay, just an extension to this. Find the number of diagonals in a convex hexagon. Firstly, let us understand what is this concept of diagonal out here. Let me take a 4-sided diagram, quadrilateral. Let me take a quadrilateral here for you. Let me take a quadrilateral, one of the quadrilaterals. All right, for quadrilaterals. So which means if I have given a quadrilateral, I have given you 4 points. 4 quadrilaterals means how many? If I given a quadrilateral, which means if I pronounce quadrilateral, how many points I've given in the plane? 4 points. All right, quadrilateral means 4 points. Good. So how many straight lines can be formed for using, which means when I said quadrilateral, I'm referring to 4 points. If there are 4 points, how many straight lines? 4c2 straight lines. All right, how many straight lines? Number of straight lines are 4c2. What is 4c2? 6. Now, out of this 6, 4 are boundary lines. Out of these 6, 4 of them will qualify as boundary lines. That's quadrilateral. So what about the remaining 2 then? If you are saying that 4c2 straight lines are there, which has become 6. Out of 6, 4 are boundary lines. The remaining 2 are nothing but diagonal lines. Alright, remaining 2 are nothing but diagonal lines. Diagonal is not the longest line, friends. Anything other than boundary line becomes a diagonal line. Simple. Alright, if it is not a boundary line, then it would become a diagonal line. It's as simple as that. Therefore, we have the major diagonal, minor diagonal, etc. The longest diagonal, shortest diagonal. Then why there is a major diagonal? If the longest line is called as a diagonal, then there is no question of major diagonal. See, because we have many number of diagonal lines. Depending on the geometry, we would have many diagonal lines. There is nothing wrong about it. So therefore, therefore we say that if there is 4 boundary lines, there will be 2 diagonal lines. Now take a pentagon for example. Let me quickly take a pentagon to illustrate this. Take a pentagon. Let's take a pentagon. Pentagon, all right, the moment author says that I've given you a pentagon, technically, what is that it's trying to take? I've given you 5 points. I've given you 5 points where no 3 are collinear. Because if 3 points are collinear, you don't get a pentagon there. 5 points. So what if it is a 5 points, how many straight lines can be formed? What is the number of straight lines in that case? Number of straight lines are nothing but 5C2. Alright, 5C2 is 10. Okay, out of 10 lines, 5 are boundary lines. 5 are boundary lines because the word is pentagon. Pentagon means 5 boundary lines. Therefore, what are the remaining 5 lines? They are called as diagonal lines. Alright, they are called as diagonal lines. Remaining are nothing but the diagonal lines. Which is the diagonal line here? This is one diagonal. Alright, this is the second diagonal. Third diagonal line, fourth diagonal line, fifth diagonal line. Alright, there are 5 diagonal lines there. Alright, now that's what it means to us. Similarly, I can find it. Okay, I can find for any other geometry. So what does it mean? How do I go? How do I go about this? Therefore, so what we are trying to say is, if there is an n-sided diagram, if there is n sides, if a polynomial has n sides, n-sided polynomial, n side implies n points. Alright, if there are n sides, it implies given n points. A given n points, how many straight lines can be formed? Number of straight lines. Number of straight lines are nc2. Alright, number of straight lines are nc2. If number of straight lines are nc2, how many boundary lines will be there? Alright, minus. I will subtract. How many boundary lines will be there? Boundary lines. Alright, nc2. Number of boundary lines are going to be n. Alright, number of boundary, because it's an n-sided figure. Therefore, how many boundary lines? It's going to be n. Alright, there will be n boundary lines. If there are n boundary lines, how many diagonal lines total? That is nc2. Number of diagonal lines. Number of diagonal lines is nc2 minus n. What is nc2? Total number of lines. What is n? Number of boundary lines. Alright, nc2 minus n becomes this. Now this can also be written as n into n minus 3 by 2. You can remember this. Number of diagonal lines. Alright, in a polygon, alright, n number of diagonal lines in a polygon is nothing but n into n minus 3 divided by 2. In other words, nc2 minus n. If you remember that, that's also fine. Or directly, alright, if you simplify this, it results in n into n minus 3 by 2. So here we go. This is the question. Convex hexagon. Find the number of diagonal lines. Number of diagonal lines is what, friends? Alright, now convex hexagon. What is hexagon? 6. Therefore, 6 into 6 minus 3 divided by 2. Alright, that is 6 into 3 divided by 2. Alright, which is nothing but there are 9 diagonal lines. Alright, now there are 9 diagonal lines. That's the answer to this question. I hope all of you got this concept. Whatever they complicate, once your concept is in place, you can solve. Your concept should be in place there. Okay, let's go further. Let's explore the selections further. Let's explore it further. Let's explore further. Simple concept. Let's explore some simple concepts out here. How many rectangles can be observed on a grid, on the grid having 7 vertical and 5 horizontal lines? There are 7 vertical lines. This is a vertical line 1. So here we go. Alright, this is the first vertical line, second vertical line, third vertical line, fourth vertical line, fifth, sixth, and seventh. That's what author mean by I've given you 7 vertical lines. How many horizontal lines? He says that 1, second one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. 5 horizontal lines. His question is how many rectangles can be observed? How many different rectangles you can see out here? Assume that each grid is of the same dimension. It is not looking like that, but if this is 1 centimeter, take this also as 1 centimeter. Or something like that, or no, something like that. We can take that. Okay, rectangles as well as squares. Let's assume that rectangles as well as squares. Square is also a base of a rectangle, let's say. So rectangle as well as squares can be observed on this particular diagram. Let's assume that on this particular grid, alright, how many rectangles as well as squares can be observed. Concept is simple, guys. Solid. When we want to find the rectangles, the concept is simple. What is that? I need to select selection. Why I'm calling it as a selection example? Because the intersection of 2 horizontal lines, alright, intersection of 2 horizontal lines with 2 vertical lines produces a rectangle. Intersection of 2 horizontal lines, 2 horizontal lines with 2 vertical lines. So intersection of 2 horizontal lines with 2 vertical lines produces a rectangle. That is it. Alright, that is it. So all right, therefore how many vertical lines are there? 7. Select any 2 of them. 7C2. You selected any 2 vertical lines. Okay, how many horizontal? Alright, horizontal lines are there? 5. So what I need to do, select any 2 horizontal lines. Alright, product them, because you need 2 vertical lines and 2 horizontal lines, which becomes your answer. Alright, which becomes your answer. Right, yeah, so this one, alright, now this is 21. Alright, 21 into 10. You are saying that 210 rectangle can be observed on the given grid. Alright, you can observe 210 rectangles here. Alright, that's the meaning of this. Right, that's the meaning of this. Okay, so what I meant here, all right, what I meant here is, so what do you mean by select any to any assume that I selected these 2 horizontal lines. I selected these two horizontal lines and I selected these two vertical lines. Assume I selected these two vertical lines. Now follow the thread. That intersection area is the rectangle I'm talking about. I'm talking this as the rectangle. Likewise, select any two horizontal and any two vertical. You get all possible rectangles that can be counted. That's how you count the number of rectangles. Simple one. Therefore, I took it under the selection example. I took it under the selection example. Sometimes what happens is they may ask us only squares. I will tell you already now how to do. Alright, the square can be given and they may ask us to find only squares here. The classic example is a chessboard. Alright, classic example could be a chessboard. If I ask you how many squares are there on the chessboard, how many squares can be observed on the chessboard? How many squares can be observed on the chessboard? Think about it, friends. Think about it. Take a minute, think about it. How many squares can be observed on the chessboard? Yeah, very good. Very good. Very good. 204 is right. 204 is right. So the reason, if it is 64, I wouldn't have given you 1 minute to count. Why do you need 1 minute to count if it is 64? 64 is a unitary squares. Number of unitary squares are 64. You didn't get it? Let me explain it here. Let's think that it's a mini version of a chessboard. Right? Chessboard is 8 by 8. This is 4 by 4. Right? It's a mini version. Take a mini version just to illustrate my point. Alright, chessboard. Okay, there may be black color, white color. I have not painted anything black or white here. It's a chessboard. Basically, I said that how many squares can be observed. I didn't say that black, white combination. Color combination is up to you. Color combination I didn't talk about. I said that how many squares can be observed by using the grids available on the chessboard. 8 by 8 that we know. So, but here I've taken a mini version of that 4 by 4. Alright, 4 by 4 grid lines are there. So, how many squares can be observed on this? Now, look, the unitary squares are 16. Unitary squares is this. This is a unitary square. 1 unit by 1 unit. All these are unitary squares where I'm putting a tick. All these are unitary squares. Unitary squares means what? Dimension. 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. Assume centimeter is the unit I'm talking. It's just to illustrate that. How many squares of 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter are there? You will say that 1 centimeter is 4 rows and 4 columns. 16. 4 rows and 4 columns. There are 16 rows. And that's a counting. How do you count? You will find number of rows, right? Number of rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows and 4 columns. You will say that there are 16 cells. Alright, there are 16 cells. Very good. Whichever way you count does not matter to me. So I just counted as rows and columns. 4 rows, 4 columns, 16. Done. So if I ask you how many squares of dimension 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter are there? Because they are also squares. If I take 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter, they are also square. It need not be 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. Follow my chalk, friends, like this. This is the 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter. That's one square there. You may say that, hey, this is also another square. This is also 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter. Second one. Okay, this is a third one, 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter. There is a third one. All right, third one. Similarly, I took these two as the pair. I took three squares here. All right, 3 I got. I can take these two. Between these two, I can draw another 3 squares. In the sense, I can draw something like this. Let this I can draw. Let likewise I can draw 3 by 3. I can take this here. I can draw it another 3. So therefore, what you are trying to say, it is going to be 3 rows and 3 columns. You can take all it now, double it, take 2 units at a time. 3 by 3. You can see 9 squares. I've showed you that. I've already showed you about for 3 squares here. Well, between this I've showed 3 squares. Similarly, consider these two. Well, consider this block. You will get another 3 squares. First one, the second one, and the third one. You will get another 3 squares. Similarly, consider these two blocks. You will get another 3 squares. All right, the first one, the second one here, and the third one here. All right, likewise. Therefore, you said that okay, there are 9 squares. I hope all of you got the algorithm by now. All right, you would have got it by now. Right? That's a point I was trying to make there. Okay, what about the squares of dimension 3 by 3? That is 3 centimeter by 3 centimeter. All right, that's going to be 2 by 2. That's going to be 2 by 2, which means there are 4 squares there. What is 3 by 3? Something like this. This is a 3 by 3 square. All right, this is a 3 by 3 square. I can draw another 3 by 3 square. This also would be 3 by 3 square. 3 by 3 square. Like this, you can identify 2 rows and 2 columns, therefore 4. Similarly, squares of dimension 4 centimeter by 4 centimeter. 4 centimeter by 4 centimeter, which would be 1 by 1, which is equal to 1. That's answer. That's answer. All right, that's answer. Technically, it is nothing but summation n square. It will look like summation n square. That's 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square. All right, that's how it looks on the, all right, in this particular case, which means in this case it is 30. There are 30 squares that you can observe. Answer is 30, not 16. Right. Similarly, on the chessboard, it will turn out to be 204. All right, you find 204 squares can be observed on the chessboard. Right now, but unitary squares are 64. That's right. I agree. But I'm not using the word unitary squares. I'm saying the total number of squares. All possible. Even 8 by 8 square. That's also fine. The longest one. That's the largest one there. 8 by 8. That's also fine. Okay. I hope all of you got the point about the rectangle and square here. Very elementary part. All right. All of you got this. Next one on the grids. Okay. Now I'm departing a little bit. All right. Next one on the grids. Next one on the grid, shortest distance. All right, shortest distance. Find the number of shortest routes from A to Z. Shortest routes from A to Z. Assume that somebody is at A. Assume that somebody is at A. All right, somebody is at A and would like to go to Z. All right, from A to Z. All right, Z, whatever. All right, A to Z. All right, somebody wants to go from A to Z. That's what this person wants to travel. All right, now, so what he has to do? Shortest routes. He said that, okay, totally how many shortest routes are there? All right, given that each grid line is of equal length and one can move only along the grid lines. Now, you cannot take a shortcut like this. Say, I will go like this. No, you can't go like this. All right, you can't say, oh, I will make one straight line of my own and I will cut through and I will flow. No, you can't cut through. These are the roads. All right, there are houses, etc. All these things are built around. This is a layout. All right, layout or whatever that you take. All right, it's neatly designed. All right, no designed. There are clear roads there. You cannot cut through the houses and go, etc. All right, these are the houses. Something like that. Just take an imaginary case. Take an imaginary case. So therefore, you are saying that I need to go from A to Z. Okay, if you want to go from A to Z, how do you go? All right, I can go like this. All right, no, these are the lines by which I can go. Like this, I can go. Fine. No, I want to go straight like this and straight like this. That's also fine. That's also fine. So what I'm trying to say is, look, now this is one horizontal unit, second horizontal unit, third horizontal unit, and fourth horizontal unit. Okay, so vertical. All right, now this is the first vertical unit, second vertical unit, and third vertical unit. My point is, as long as you travel 4 horizontal, as long as you travel 4 horizontal and 3 vertical, as long as you travel 4 horizontal and 3 vertical, you will reach the destination by using the shortest route, which means 7 units you should travel. 7 units you should travel, out of which 4 should be horizontal units and 3 should be vertical units of your choice. Let me tell the first route. One fellow said that, hey, I will go horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, no problem. The second fellow said that, no, yeah, I will do like this, 2 horizontals, or 2 horizontals, and then I will do 3 verticals, and again I will do 2 horizontals. Okay, so they are all using, both the fellows are using 4 horizontals and 3 verticals, but in their own style, Okay, let's take a look here. So how does the first person want to go? Let us trace his path. Let us trace the first person path. Horizontal, so he went till here. Vertical, he is here. Another horizontal here, another vertical here, another horizontal here, next vertical here, final horizontal here. Reach the destination. All right, the fellow has reached the destination. Okay, so what about the next fellow? Let's take a look at the second fellow, how he wants to do it. This fellow wants to do 2 horizontals. Fair enough. Here, 2 horizontals. Then he said that I will straight away do 3 verticals. Good, 3 verticals are here. All right, that's 3 verticals. And he said that I will do another 2 horizontal. Good, it's here. All right, now therefore, as long as you use exactly 4 horizontal and 3 vertical, you reach the destination. And how do you understand that 4 horizontal and 3 vertical? Here they are. Horizontal, 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 4 horizontal lengths, and 3 verticals, vertical, vertical, vertical. No, nothing but. All right, now what are these routes? Now therefore you may be wondering, okay, you showed the 2 routes, but then how do I route all the n routes? Because there is a third route, fourth route, fifth route, there are n routes. Nothing but how many 7-letter words can be formed? Had I asked the same question, how many 7-letter words can be formed by using 4h and 3v? How many 7-letter words can be formed by using 4h and 3v? What you would have done, guys? 7-letter words. 7-letter words, you would have said that it is 7 factorial divided by. Well, it is going to be 7 factorial divided by 4 factorial and 3 factorial. What is that 7 factorial? Now you would say that 7 factorial divided by 4 factorial and 3 factorial. That's what you would have done there. right? That's what you would have done there. 4 horizontal, 3 vertical. This is going to be your result. 7 factorial by 4 factorial, 3 factorial. Simplify this, that gives you the answer here. Let's see, that gives the answer here. So therefore 4 factorial, this 7, or technically this can be written as 7c3, or you can also write it as 7c4. Why? Because whenever the sum of these two numbers, sum of these numbers, not factorial, 4 plus 3 adds up to 7, you can either write it as 7c3 or you can write it as 7c4. Either ways it's fine. What is the calculation perspective? Therefore 7 into 6 into 5 divided by 3 into 2 into 1. All right, now 3 2 times 6 is gone. Therefore this has become 35. Therefore you are saying that z can be traveled in 35 ways. All right, z can be, all right, a to z we can travel in 35 ways. Okay, how you learnt in the school? Just pay attention. All right, how you learnt in the school? Let's do it once. Let's do it once. How you paid out, how you did it in the school? Simple. This is how you did this in the school. In the school you said that, all right, now node values, node. All right, now either you can go eastward or you can go northward, right? Because this point is in northeast direction. 35 is the answer. Keep it in mind. Okay, what is this direction? Northeast. If you keep a compass at A, if you keep your compass at A, where is your wallet? Where is your wallet? Now where is the destination? The destination is in the northeast direction. The destination is in the northeast direction. Good. So northeast direction means what? Either you keep traveling north or you keep traveling east. Either you keep traveling north or keep traveling east. Never go towards south or west. That's a point. Very good. Okay, assume that your friend lives at this address. Let me give some names: C, D, E. Let me call this as F, G, H. Forget Z. Your friend lives at an address called B. How many ways you live at an address called A? You live at an address called A. One of your friend lives at the address called B. How many ways you can reach your friend? You reach your friend who lives at the address B by traveling minimum distance. One way. Minimum means one way. Otherwise, you can go all over the place and then you can finally come back and reach B. No, I don't want that. I don't want you to go all over the place. Shortest distance. Save fuel, time, energy, all of that. Right now, therefore, shortest distance, one way. Go straight. Okay. Hey, what if already you want to go from A to C? A to C, your friend lives at C. You decided to your friend already. You decided to visit your friend who lives at C. One way. One way. A to C is also one way. Right now, similarly, how many ways? All right, now, so A to D, that's also one way. How many ways from A to E? That's also one way. A to E is also one way. All right, that's what you would be writing. Right now, technically, what I meant here is you can reach this point in one way, this point in one way, this point in one way, and this point in one way. All these points can be reached from A in one way. All it is in one way. Similarly, what about your friend who lives at address F? One way. Go straight. All right, because you are at A. Every time the measurement is from A, my friends. All right, a measurement is from A. All right, I'm talking from measurement from A here. Okay, so what about measurement at G? That's also one way. What about H? That's also one way. All right, that's also going to be one way. Therefore, all are one way so far. Okay, now let me bring some of the points inside. All right, let me bring some of these points inside. Understand this because it's one of the important logic. Okay, so what about this particular point? All right, now what about this particular point? Now let me call this as B. Let me call it as C. Let me call it as D, and let me call it as E. I renamed. I give different points out here. So how many ways you can reach B? Simple, friends. Simple. So I told you that either you will travel north wherever you are, or you approach B either via north or via east. Okay, what is the node value of the north? 1. Add that. What is the node value that you are coming from east? 1. What is 1 plus 1? 2. Therefore, you are saying that A to B can be traveled in 2 ways. What does it mean? I can go like this. That's one way. I can go like this. That's a second way. Okay, now we understood this, right? This point should have been clear to you. This point should be clear to you what I said. Good. Similarly, so now similarly, all right, now take a look at, all right, now let's see that how many ways you can reach C. How many ways you can reach C? How you reach C? Either you come via this route or you come via this route. Look at the node values, friends. This is 1. And what is the node value here? 2. What is 2 plus 1? Add them. 2 plus 1, 3, which means C can be traveled in 3 ways. You can reach C in 3 ways. Good. Now look at the D. All right, now how many ways you can reach D? Again, the node values, because we decided that either we can travel north or east because my destination is northeast. Therefore, this is the direction. Either you will be coming towards east or you will be coming towards north. North or east. Look at the node values of the previous nodes. This is 1, this is 3. Therefore, the D can be reached in how many ways? 4 ways. From where? From A. From A, totally you can reach D in 4 ways. Keep doing it like that only, friends. All right, now this is 5. 4 plus 1 is 5. What about this? Add these values. 2 plus 1 becomes 3. Hey, what about this particular value? 3 plus 3 becomes 6. 3 plus 3 is 6. Hey, what about this particular point? 6 plus 4, 10. Likewise, keep doing it. This is 15. Okay, come here and do this 4 here. Why? Because 3, this is 1, that is 4. This is 6, this is 4, therefore this is 10. This is 10 and this is 10. What is this? 20. This is 20, this is 15. What is that? Therefore, it is 35. All right, what is it there for? It is 35. All right, now that's what I mean by counting this. That's what I mean by counting this. Okay, the point here is okay, why did I do that? Say answer is 35 only. All right, here also the answer is 35. Answer is 35. Say for example, in this particular question, let's say for example, we got this point, right? You all of you got this particular point. Take the same example. Let me take the same example. Let me put some water puddles inside this. Let's say that this road is blocked. This road is blocked because there is some water there. All right, that road is blocked. At the same time, all right, now this road is also blocked. Already said that this road is also blocked. That's water. Red color, what I'm doing is water. All right, now that's water because there is some water clogging happened on that road. Say that already it's a low-lying road, therefore there is a water. People cannot access that road. Okay, similarly, people cannot access this road. Similarly, people cannot access this road. Let's say that these roads cannot be accessed. It cannot be accessed. All right, but person want to go from A to Z. Person can go from A to Z. See, now if you do this, all right, now 7 factorial, 3 factorial, this is very cumbersome because there are some roads which have been blocked now. So in this case, you have to do this addition algorithm only. Whatever I taught you now, quickly keep adding the numbers. How long it will take? Less than a minute, yeah. Less than a minute only it will take. You don't need this. All right, you don't need this. Therefore, this is fine provided all the roads are all right. But what if there is some problem with some roads? All right, now some construction is going on, some repair work is going on. It will be blocked for a while. You can't use that road because you are going from A to Z. You can't go and wait indefinitely that okay, you repair till that time I will wait. No. All right, therefore, how do you do this particular journey? So therefore, you use the node values. That's easier. Write the node value 1, 1, 1, and 1. All right, here also it is all going to be 1 and 1. Okay, now write this node value here. This point can be reached in how many ways? 2 ways. What about this 3 ways? Why 3 ways? 1 plus 2, all right, which becomes 3. How many ways this one? 3 plus 1, all right, which becomes 4. What about this? 5 ways. So far, no problem. Now listen carefully, all of you. Now listen, how many ways this can be reached? Either you come like this or you come like this. But the point is you can't come like this. All right, you can't come from, or you can't come, let me give this name as a B. You can't come via B. Let's say this point is C. All right, you can't come to C via B because there is a water puddle. So therefore, all it only one node value. What is the node value there? 1. So which means C can be reached only in one way. C can be reached in only one way because you can't come via from B because there is a node value 2 here. But I can't use that node because there is a water puddle here. I can't come via that. Therefore, only one way to approach C, that is from this particular place. Call this point as X. You can only come to C via X. All right, there is a X here. You can only come via X. That's what is the node value of X1. Therefore, there is only one way to reach C. Similarly, already if there is a point here, now the node values, previous node values, what is it? 1 here and 3 here. What is 3 plus 1? 4. Hey, what about this particular place? What about this particular place? You can't come via this because that is blocked. You can come only via one particular route. What is that therefore? 4. All right, what is the previous node value? That is 4. Hey, what about this? 4 and 5, which becomes 9. This can be traveled in 9 ways. Similarly, right here, guys, what is this? 1 plus 1, which becomes 2. All right, which becomes 2. What about this here? Only one way. This is the only route because the other side there is a water. Therefore, this can be done in 2 ways. Hey, how about this? 2 plus 4 becomes 6. There is a 2 here. There is a 2 here and there is a 4 here. Add them, that becomes 6. Hey, what about this now? This becomes 15. 9 plus 5 becomes 15. Because there are some water clogging on some of the roads, now the answer has become 15 ways instead of 35. When all the roads were working, it is 35 ways. When some of the roads are choked, it becomes only 15 ways. All right, it becomes only 15 ways. Like this, my friends, like this, you can work on this. All right, like this, you can work with this. Therefore, you should know both of them. What you learned in high school, you should know. And you should know this also, n factorial by p factorial, q factorial. That also you should know. I'm not saying that you should know only one of them. What you learned in high school, you cannot afford to forget that. That you should know. In addition to that, I can use this n factorial by p factorial, q factorial stuff. Okay, here we go. Next one. Let's take a look at the next one here. You try this now. Everybody try this question. Everybody try this question. Answer, understand and answer this question. All of you. Yeah, here we go. Shortest distance. Another one. Yeah, let's do it together now. Let's do it together. Find the number of shortest routes from A to Z, but via B. Via B means what? This becomes your active region. All right, there is an active region and there is a passive region. In the sense, you don't use some of the roads at all. You use this here. A to B means you use these already. Now the box is already inside this red, that's all you are going to use. That becomes active. Alright, now you never come to B via this road. You will not say that okay, no, I will go till here and then I will come to B. No. Alright, then you are traveling more. Alright, then you are traveling more. That's not the way to come to B. Assume that via B in the sense you are to drop a parcel at your friend's place. You are on your way. This is the home. Let's say you are at home and you want to go to school, college, office, whatever. That is the destination. Maybe school for some of you, maybe office for some of you. But on your way, you want to already now drop a small parcel at your friend's place. You have to give back a book. Already you got to return a book. So you said that okay, it's on the way to the office. Therefore, I will go there and pay. But I'll go there and give the book back. But you wanted to take a shortest possible route. You don't want to travel unnecessarily. Therefore, when you want to come to the place of B, you don't say that okay, I will go all the way here and then come back to B and then I will go towards it. That's a mere waste of time, right? Now, therefore, what you say A to B, that red grid, what I'm saying is the active grid. What does it mean here? Horizontal, 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 vertical, and vertical. Therefore, A to B. How is this journey done, friends? A to B and B to Z. That's how you go, because A to B you go, put the parcel there, hand over the parcel, and then you go from B to Z. When you are going from A to Z, what you have? 3 horizontals and 2 verticals. You have 3 horizontals and 2 verticals. Therefore, how many ways this can be done? 5 factorial. How many 5-letter words can be formed in which 3 are horizontal and 2 are vertical? 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial, 2 factorial. That is 10 ways. Good. And means what? Into. Okay, into B to Z. Now think from B to Z here. What is the active grid for B to Z? 2 horizontal and 2 vertical. Horizontal, horizontal, vertical, and vertical. 2 horizontal, 2 vertical. That's what you have. 2 horizontal, 2 vertical. So how many 4-letter words can be done? 4 factorial divided by 2 horizontals, 2 factorial, 2 verticals, another 2 factorial. All right, that's nothing but, all right, now 4. All right, now that's nothing but 4C2. 4C2 is nothing but 6. Therefore, you are saying that there are 60 ways to do this activity, because A to B can be done in 10 ways, and then 4C2 can be done in another 6 ways. Therefore, 10 into 6. All right, there are 60 ways the person can reach from A to Z via B. All right, via B. Okay, if you have understood whatever I said so far, the concepts would be clear. All right, with this, the concept would be clear to you. Let's go further. Let's go further. I will talk about grouping now. I will talk about grouping. All right, grouping. All right, now grouping is what? There are 4 types. All right, in the grouping, there are 4 types. Try and understand what I'm trying to say here. All right, groupings, there are 4 types. I will take one by one. First, listen to me carefully. All right, listen to me carefully. Grouping are 4 types. That is different to different. We have different to similar. I'll come to it what I meant by different to similar. All right, different to similar. Then we have different to different. We have different to different. Then we have similar to different. Similar to different. Okay, take example something like this. So here, this side, all right, now this side, attach a word, all right, attach a word, all right, now there are 5 marbles, all right, attach a word, 5 marbles are there, 5 marbles. So on this particular side, before using these words, on this particular side, all right, now attach like boxes, all right, now say there are 3 boxes. So now attach it something like this. In how many ways? 5 different marbles. Attach it like this. 5 case 1. 5 different marbles can be placed in 3 similar boxes. Let's put that word here. 5 different marbles, 3 similar boxes. Right? In how many ways? 5 different marbles can be placed in 3 identical, similar looking boxes. You went to a shop, you brought 3 boxes which are looking same. There are 5 tiny marbles. You have some 3 small boxes there. So the marbles are pretty tiny, small marbles. How many ways you can place 5 different marbles? Colors are different, red, yellow, blue, green, whatever, right? Yeah, 5 different marbles can be placed in 3 different 3 similar boxes. That is different from asking, all right, now 3, all right, that is very different from asking 3 different boxes. Already that's different from asking in how many ways already you can place 5 different marbles in 3 different boxes. The boxes also you brought different, either size wise different or color wise different, whatever. The boxes were also looking little different. So that's different here. Alright, that's different. Alright, now all of you understood this. Therefore the answer will change. Alright, answer is going to change the moment I change these keywords here. Alright, now third case is what you may say that okay, 5 similar marbles. Now the whole dynamics will change. Alright, 5 similar marbles can be kept in 3 different boxes. 5 similar marbles can be kept in 3 different boxes. Right now, the dynamics will change because the marbles have become similar all of a sudden. Alright, assume that all 5 white marbles are white. So suddenly the dynamics have changed. Naturally, your answer will change. You may wonder, hey, why did you leave the last case? Which means the marbles are also similar. Boxes are also similar. All right, marbles are also similar, boxes are also similar. I don't have to talk about it. You will get the answer by yourself by the time I these three cases. All right, I do three cases. You will understand that this is a cakewalk. All right, this is going to be a cakewalk. I know that there are four cases, but this case will not really matter. Even if it comes in the exam, everybody will do this. Everybody will do this. Now, don't panic. All right, now everybody will do this. I just have to deal with these three. Rest of them will be incidental. It gets covered. All right, that would get covered. Fine. Let's take a look at the first case here. Different to similar. All right, now different to similar. All right, let's take a first case. This case is different to similar. Three slides. I'll have three slides which talks about three different things. Let's take a look at this question here, friends. Let's take a look at this question. Let's take a look at this question. Let's understand the concept behind this question as we look at it. Okay, in how many ways 12 different colored marbles can be divided into following groups? All right, 12 different colored marbles divided into following groups. That's a question here. Groups. You just have to divide into groups. You don't have to give it to anybody. Just keep it. Groups means what? Different to similar. Well, that's different. What is different? 12 different colored marbles. That is different. 12 marbles are different. Yeah, what is this here? Groups means what? Similar. You just divide them into groups and keep it where? Keep it on the table or keep it on your working table. What to do with them? I'll tell later. Well, that's a later issue. That is not questioned here. So just make the groups and keep it there. Keep it on the table. That's a question. Okay. In how many ways 12 different colored marbles can be divided into following groups? What is that? I gave 5 questions here. Therefore, I said following. The word following is 5 questions. In the exam, you'll get only one question. All right, now first one is unequal groups. You are talking about unequal groups. What is unequal groups? 4 and 8. All right, which means 12 different marbles. Author is saying that why don't you divide them into two groups of 4 and 8? Once one group of 4, the other group of 8. Answer can be done in, answer is nothing but first form the first group, friends. First group can be formed in 12C 4 ways. Why? They are different. Why you are using C all of a sudden? Because they are different. No, you just have to select the marbles. Assume something like this, man. There is a big tray given. On this big tray, I kept all 12 marbles. All 12 marbles. I said that, okay, this is a tray. There is a table. There is a table. I said that, why don't you form two groups? One side, please keep 4 marbles. Another side, you keep 8 marbles. It does not matter which side you keep 4, which side you keep 8. I said, hey, there are 12 marbles in this tray, in the middle of this tray. Keep 4 on one side, keep 8 on one side. You decided to first say that, okay, I will keep these 4 marbles. If you are keeping these 4 marbles, 12C4, that's an activity that you have done. 12C4, you pick any 4 and you will keep. All right. How many are left on the desk now? 8 are left on the desk. Because if 4 you have separated, how many are left on the desk now? 8 of them are left on the desk. Fine. What you should do on this particular side? 8C8. What you should be doing on this side? 8C8. What is 8C8? 1. 8C8 is 1. Therefore, you will say that, okay, if I were to mathematically complete it, first group is formed in 12C4 ways. Second group is formed in 8C8 ways. Why 8C8? Because you have to pick all remaining 8 and keep it here. 8C8 ways. But now you may wonder, you may say that, no, I will do the other way around here. What is that other way around that you want to do? You may say that I will form the other group first. I'll form the other group first. What do you mean by forming other group first? You say that, okay, I will form this group first. I will form this first. Fine. If you are forming this first, you would be writing it as 12C8. You would be writing it as 12C8. Fair enough. So how many are left now here? 4 are left. Now you will say that I will form this group now. Okay, what you will be writing? 4C4. You are saying that I will instead write like this 12C8 into 4C4. My point is both are same. My point is both are same. Expand them. Both are same. Hey, what is 12C4, friends? 12 factorial divided by 8 factorial, 4 factorial. Hey, what is 8C8? This is 1. All right, this is 1. I'm not writing. What is 4C4? That is 1. Mathematically, to complete the thought process, I wrote here so that you will understand what I'm doing. But when you are writing 4C4, you don't write and you don't write 1 because no steps for marks. All right, no marks for steps, right? There is no marks for steps. Therefore, you don't write that unnecessary 4C4, etc. Because I'm expressing from here and you are viewing it from some other side, the thought process has to be clear. Therefore, I wrote that point. Okay, so therefore 12 factorial by 8 factorial, 4 factorial. Okay, good. What is 12C8 by the way? Same, right? Isn't it the same? What is 12C8? Same thing. 12 factorial by 8 factorial, 4 factorial. It's the same. Well, therefore, it does not matter which group you form first. That's a point I'm trying to make. Just write this piece. Okay, all of you should be clear with this. All of you would be clear with this. I guess all of you are clear with this. Okay, which group you form first does not matter to me. Okay, therefore, what is the fundamental, my point is what is that I'm trying to tell you here? What I'm trying to say here is, whenever you are looking from different to similar, it is the NCR concept. That's it. All right, different to similar grouping is a concept of NCR. That's application I'm talking about right now, because there are three types I said: different to similar, different to different, similar to similar. These are the three other. Similar to different, these are the three types we're exploring today right now. Different to similar is made up of what? NCR concept. Simple. All right, now NCR, as much as you understand this, if you understand it's NCR, we are done with it. Okay, now look at this. All right, now look at 6 and 6. What I'm trying to do here, equal groups. You said that, hey, why don't you give the kids equally, I'm sorry, not kids, why don't you divide them equally and keep 6 and 6 on either side? All right, why don't you keep 6 on this side? All right, 6 on one side and 6 on the other side. That's what you are trying to say. 6 on each side. All right, 6 on each side. All right, now earlier you said unequal groups. Now you are talking about the equal groups. All right, you are talking about equal groups. Equal groups. All right, so form any group first, does not matter. So therefore you will say that this is going to be 12C6. All right, you form 12C6. Right, and therefore you said write this particular side as 6C6. 12C6, therefore you write it as 6C6. Okay, therefore my what is my answer? 12C6 into 6C6. If you do this, your answer is wrong. But that's the reason I said I use these keywords. Why did I use the keyword unequal groups and equal words? Equal, because if it is a equal groups, if two groups are equal, how many groups are equal? Two groups are equal, not the size. Size of each group is 6. If two groups are equal, you got to divide this by 2 factorial. If two groups are equal, you got to divide by 2 factorial, otherwise your answer will be wrong. So that's the difference between unequal group and equal group. I hope all of you got this point here. All right, unequal and equal group. Now think about this here. What is this here, friends? Unequal. All right, these unequal groups. I said that form 3 groups. Fair enough. So how you will form? 12C3. You form the first group here. Okay. After 12C3, all right, now say same table. To a same table. This is the table here. There are 12 marbles initially. There are 12 marbles initially, right? Yeah, 12 marbles initially. So you said that, okay, why don't you form 3 groups here? Already you divided the table, something like this. You cut the table, something like this. I want 3 here, I want 4 here. Right, I want 4 in this here, and I want the remaining 6. I want the remaining 5 here. All right, now, so how do you form this therefore? So you would say that first let me form this. You will say 12C3. All right, you took 3 off, therefore there is no more 12 here. How many are left? 9. Okay, so then you will write here, what you write here? 9C4. All you are writing 4 out of them. Okay, how many are left here? 5. So therefore what you write here? 5C5. That's what you write. 12C3 into 9C4. All right, into 5C4. All right, into 5C5. That forms the answer there. That forms the answer there. Okay, now look at here, equal groups. All right, equal groups. How do you form these equal groups? All right, you will say that 12C4 into 8C4 into 4C4. All right, into 4C4. That's an equal group. Yeah, what is it here? Mixed group. Okay, what do you mean by mixed? All right, now so here what do you do? Divide by 3 factorial. Why 3 factorial? Because 3 groups are equal. 3 groups, number of groups, 3 groups are equal. Size of the group is 4, friends. Don't confuse between the groups or number of groups being equal versus size of each group. Size of each group is 4. Don't bother about it. 3 groups are equal, therefore divide by 3 factorial. All right, yeah, mixed one. All right, mixed one here. What is the mixed one here? 12C3. I will form the first group. Okay, after that 9C3. All right, after that what? All right, now last group, that is 6C6. That is one only. All right, now I'm just writing for the sake of writing. All right, that one divided by what? Divide by 2 factorial. Why 2 factorial? Because I have two groups which have the same size. All right, now I have the same size. Okay, by this I think all right, now everyone's concept would be clear. Yeah, what is the quicker way of writing this stuff? What is the faster way of writing this particular stuff? All right, faster way of writing this, in the sense, given this particular question, all right, 12 different marbles, all right, just divide them into groups or parcels. The word can be used as groups. Instead of saying following groups, they will say that into parcels. Put them into parcel. Parcel means name is not written. You just packed it. All right, packed it. So when you pack it, all right, this can also be written as quickly. 4 and 8 can be written as total is 12, right? Total is 12. 12 factorial divided by 4 and 8. Simply divide by 4 factorial, 8 factorial. That's your answer. All right, that's your answer, which is nothing but this. All right, which is nothing but this. Yeah, what about the second one? 12 factorial, because that's a total, divided by what? 6 factorial and another 6 factorial. Why? There are two 6's here, 6 factorial and 6 factorial. Because two groups are same, divide by 2 factorial. I'm just showing you how to write it quickly. What is the faster way, quicker way of writing this? Similarly, 3, 4, 5. How do I write this 3, 4, 5? You would say that 12 factorial divided by 3 factorial, 4 factorial, 5 factorial. All right, how do I write this portion? How do I write this particular portion? 4, 4, 4. 12 factorial divided by 4 factorial whole cube, because you'll be writing 4 factorial 3 times, therefore 4 factorial whole cube into 3 factorial. Why 3 factorial? Because 3 groups have the same size. Likewise, you can write for the next one also. I hope all of you got this point here. I hope all of you got this point. That's a quicker way of representation, because sometimes you see answer options like this. This itself will be the answer option. Therefore, it is good already now so understand that how people write the answer option. Put it in that perspective. Directly put it in that perspective. That's a type 1. Let's go to the second type, my friends. Let's go to second type. Type 1 should be clear to all of you. Second type is much simpler, much more simpler. Second type is much more simpler. Let me explain this second type. What is that here? 12 different colored marbles distributed. I am saying that, okay, don't keep it with you, distribute, give it to somebody else. Well, distributed among children A and B, which means whenever two groups are there, so assume A and B are the two kids to who you are distributing. Whenever three kids are there, because instead of giving all it making separate questions, I squeezed out all the concepts into one question. That's it. All right. Now, therefore, the pattern of ABC kids are coming there. A, B, A, B, C. In the exam, you will have only one question. Therefore, there is no worry. Right now, distributed. The word is distributed. I'm saying that give it out. Give it out. Therefore, it is different to different. This question is different to different. Why? People are marbles are different. All right, marbles are different. People are different. Kids are different. Children are different. All right, therefore, it is different to different because you are giving out the marbles to kids this time. Right? Okay. So, therefore, 12 different colored marbles can be distributed among children. Sometimes AB, sometimes ABC. That's because I'll let know here sometimes I have 3 as well. Okay. Such that one child gets X marble, the other child get Y marbles. If there are Z marbles. If there are 3 groups, X, Y, Z. Something like that. Right? Yeah. Okay. All of you got this particular question. Fine. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's understand the first one. So, what is the first question here? 12 different marbles. One child should get 4. One child should get 8. Who should get 4? That's up to you. So, first, all it now, even before the children come, why don't you divide and keep it ready? Let it divide and keep it ready. When the kids come, just put it in their hand, hand it over to them. So, divide and keep it ready means what? What you did in step 1. So, which means what I'm saying is first to do different to similar. That's what you learned here. Previous one, different to similar. And then what? Once you have it, then just all it now give out, distribute this. All right, that's when you distribute this. All right, that's it. All right, now first do this different to similar and do what? And distribute. When the kids come, please distribute. Make the groups ready and keep in front of them. Why? All right, now say that, okay, this color marble will go well with this color marble. Don't do in front of them. In their absence, you make it ready. When they come, just give it out to them. Okay, what do you mean by that? What I meant is, all right, now you say that 12C4 into 8C4. What is this here? Groups are ready. All right, when you did 12C4 into 8C4, I explained in the previous slide. All right, 12C4 into 8C4, the groups are ready. Okay, if the groups are ready, why don't you distribute it to them? Distribute the kids in 2 factorial ways. Hey, what do you mean by 2 factorial ways? You have these 2 groups. One group has 4 marbles. Another group has 8 marbles. Now, 2 kids are standing in front of you, A and B. First, you decided to give it to A. Point is, A, you may give the first one or you may give the second one. Therefore, A can be dealt in 2 ways. All right, because you decided to give it to A first. Okay, if you want to decide to give to A first, you had 2 choices. A is anxiously waiting. All right, will I get 4 marbles or will I get 8 marbles? All right, he's anxious. All right, because you said that I will give it to you first. All right, he's anxious. All right, to 4 or 8, 2 ways. Okay, once you give something to A, assume that you decided A finally gave 8 to A. So B will be given only one way. All right, B would be dealt in one way. That's what I wrote as 2 factorial. If there are 2 kids, there are 2 boxes in your hand. Either all right, now first kid can be dealt in 2 ways. The second kid can be dealt in one way. Therefore, it can be dealt in 2 factorial ways. Distribution is n factorial. That's it. If you have n groups, you can distribute it in n factorial ways. Pretty simple. That's all I'm talking here. Okay, what is the what is the grouping here? All right, now here it is 12C4 or 12C6 into 6C6. I already taught you how to write this. Divided by 2 factorial. When you did this, what is ready? The groups are ready. All right, now when you divide by 2 factorial, groups are ready because there are 2 boxes which have the same content. What you are trying to say? Assume that there are 6 dark marbles. Dark. There are dark marbles. You kept in one box dark marbles. 6 only. In each box there is 6. In another one, you separated 6 light colored marbles. Light colored marbles. You decided to keep it like this. Not necessary. You would have done all combinations. In all these combinations, this is one combination. There are 6 dark marbles together and there are 6 light marbles together. Now A and B are in front of you. A and B are in front of you. Now you said that, I will give it to you first. Fine. Again, he is anxious. All right, now why this fellow is anxious time and again? Reason, he may get the dark one or he may get the light one. He would have his own taste. All right, either he would have a taste of light or he would have a taste of dark. Therefore, he is anxious. Will I get my taste or not? Right now, therefore, A can be dealt in 2 ways. The quantity is 6. The quantity is 6, but the quality inside is different. All right, now because the dark is one quality, light is another quality. I'm not talking about which is superior, which is inferior. That's not the way. Quality aspect is there. Different people like different quality. Therefore, all right, now which quality you want, the darker ones or the lighter ones? Therefore, A can be still dealt in 2 ways and B can be dealt in 1 way. The B can be dealt in 1 way. Therefore, into 2 factorial. I think by now you would have got the point here. Find whether it is equal or unequal. Distribution for 2 kids takes place in 2 factorial ways. If there are 3 kids, it will be 3 factorial ways. What do I write here, friends? 12 factorial divided by 3 factorial, 4 factorial, 5 factorial. What is this? This is division. This is division. How many kids here now? 3 kids, because there are 3 groups you have made. So distribution happens in 3 factorial ways. Simple. Hey, what about the next one? Same. 12 factorial divided by 4 factorial whole cube. cube, all right, into 3 factorial. Why 3 factorial? Because 3 equal groups are there. So 3 factorial. What is this? Division. Distribution 3 factorial. Why? Because the contents can be 4, 4 and 4. All right, 4, 4 and 4. But all right, the quality of this 4 will be different. One of them could be dark, one of them could be lighter ones. The middle one can be the semi-dark. All right, now it is not very dark, not very light. It's a kind of a pale colors in between, right? Now, therefore, so you never know. Already you never know what they get. Therefore, 3 factorial. Similarly, the last one. What is the last one? 12 factorial divided by 3 factorial whole square. All right, into 6 factorial and into another 2 factorial. What is the 2 factorial for these two fellows? All right, now this is the division. What about the distribution? Into 3 factorial, because 3 kids are there. 3, 3, 6. 3 kids are there. Therefore, the distribution happens in 3 factorial ways. Okay, I quickly wrote that part without explaining much because I know that, okay, you would have got the point by the time I did the first two. All right, because be it unequal or equal does not matter when you are distributing. What you are doing here, first you anyway divide and distribute. What is this here? Different to similar is what? Divide them into groups, divide and then lead to distribution. That's about the type 2. Let's go to the next type. Let's go to the third type here. Okay, all of you should be clear on this. Let's go to the third type. Okay, what is the third type? The marbles have become similar. Marbles have become similar. All right, similar marbles it has become. All right, how many different ways? All right, in how many ways? 12 identical, that is similar marbles can be distributed among 3 children ABC. All right, among 3 children ABC, such that, let's do only the first part to start with. All right, such that a child may or may not receive a marble. The word is distribute. You distribute the marbles, which means you can't keep it in your pocket and go home. You can't keep it in your pocket. You got to give it to the kids. All right, now all 12 identical marbles, 12 identical similar marbles you must give. You don't have a choice in the matter. You must give it to the kids. Right? Yeah. But the point is, a child may or may not receive a marble. What I meant here is this. So A, B, C together will get 12 marbles because you don't keep anything in your pocket. You together give 12 marbles. That is given. All right, 12 marbles you give. So point here is, can I give A 0? You can. Can I give B 0? Yes. Can I give 12? C, all 12 to C? That is possible. That's what I mean by the first point. A child may or may not receive a marble. It does not mean that all 3 get 0. No. Then you are taking back home. You are not doing that. 12 should be given to the kids. But a particular child may or may not get a marble, which means 0 is an allowed number. 0 is an allowed number. Now listen to me very carefully. Listen to me very carefully. Okay, 12 is very large. I will take 5 to illustrate the first question. I will change the number to 5 and I will explain this to you first. Let me change it to 5 just for illustration, because drawing 5 marbles is easy. Now look at this. Say, assume that, okay, I have 5 marbles like this. I have 5 marbles. I have 5 marbles. I have decided to give it to 3 kids. I have decided to give it to 3 kids. Now listen, 5 marbles, if you want to give it to 2 kids, you just have to draw one separation line. One separation line if you want to give it only to 2 kids. But you decided that no, yeah, I will give it to 3 kids. Then you have to draw 2 separation lines. All right, when you want to give it to 1 child, 2 children, you just have to draw 1 separation line. What if I want to give it to 2 kids, to 3 kids? You got to draw 2 separation lines. And you said, look, man, whatever comes to the left of the first line, that is the share of A, otherwise they will fight. Therefore you said that, look, all marbles are similar, don't panic. I will draw 2 lines in between these marbles. I will keep 5 marbles. I will draw 2 lines. Whatever comes to the left of the first line is given to A. Whatever comes in between the 2 lines will be given to B. Fair enough. Whatever comes to the right of the second line will be given to C. All right, C should take. You said like this, so that they don't fight. Otherwise they'll say that, hey, I will take the middle one, there is less there. I will take the right one, there's more there. They'll fight. Therefore you said that, look, I will put the lines. I will decide what is your share. You just come and pick your share. That's all the orders given here. Fair enough. So therefore, what is that you are trying to say here, friends? We know that A plus B plus C is equal to 5. I'm taking that example of 5 here. All right, A plus B plus C is equal to 5. I'm taking the example of 5. You took 5 here. So what is that you are trying to say here? A gets 2, because what is there to the left of the first line? Left of the first line, 2 marbles are there. B gets how many? 1, because what is there in between the 2 lines? 1. How much does C get? All right, he gets 2. Together is what? 5. That is the one distribution I've shown you. Let me show one more to you. Let me show one more. I can have like this also. Say that, all right, now, so I have a distribution like this. Both the lines are here. Assume I have like this. Oh, bad luck. All right, bad luck to one fellow here. What does it mean? A gets 2 here. So B, all right, B gets in between the line. That's what you told. B gets in between the line. You drop both the lines there. In between the line, there is nothing. Here, how much does C get? C get all the remaining 3. So what is that you are trying to say? You are trying to say that this is going to be 2 plus 0 plus 3, all right, which is going to be 5. All right, which is going to be 5. That's what you are trying to say here. Okay, take another case here. Let's say that, okay, what if I draw the lines something like this? I draw the line here and I draw the line here. Bad luck. A says that bad luck. Yeah, all right, I am getting 0. I'm getting 0. See, out of this line, that fellow is also getting 0. Who is getting all of them there? B is getting all 5 of them. Therefore, that's nothing but 5. All right, that's nothing but 5. That's away here. So the point here is, what is the point I'm trying to make here? Look, you have 5 marbles. Let me call it as 5 marbles. All right, 5M. All right, 5 marbles. All right, you have 5 marbles. Circles. Circles are nothing but your marbles. And you have 2 lines. Let me call it as 2N. All right, 2N. So point here is, all right, now you arrange them. That is the point I'm trying to say. Take them as alphabets for that matter. Wherever marble is there, take it as M. Hey, what if I call it as M? This is M, this is M, this is M, this is M, and this is M. Okay, what is this here? N. This little straight line, you call it as N here. So therefore, what is that you are trying to say? How many 7-letter words can be formed? Basically, how many 7-letter words can be formed by using 5M and 2N? Well, it's nothing but that. Hey, what is this word? M, M, N, and then again another M, N, and double M. That's a word there. Okay, that's a word there. That is nothing but one way of distribution. Whenever you write a word, it becomes a distribution. You did the same concept in shortest roots also, friends. Whenever you wrote a word, it became a root there. Or it became a root. Connection of roads has become a root. Whenever you wrote a word, it became a root there. Now here, whenever you write a word, it becomes a distribution. It becomes a distribution directly. It becomes a distribution. Okay, what is the word that you are writing here? You are writing M, M, and then you are writing double N, and then you are writing triple M. All right, that's a word. That's another 7-letter word. By using these 5 M's and 2 N's, that's another 7-letter word. Therefore, what is the answer that you are trying to write here? 7 factorial, because there are 7 letters in total. 7 factorial divided by 5 factorial. What is that 5 factorial? 5 M's, 5 marbles. Hey, what is this 2N? 2 lines. All right, 2 factorial, 2 N's. When there are 3 kids, when there are 3 children, I have to put 2 lines in between the marbles. I have to put 2 lines in between the marbles, all right, so that it gets divided into 2 portions, 3 portions. Hey, what if there are 2 lines I should draw? 3 children means 2 lines. Okay. Hey, what if I have 4 children? What if I have 4 children? Draw 3 lines. Arrange the marbles like this. Just put the marbles in a straight line. It'll make your life convenient. And then 3 lines you should draw. Then it will be divided into 4 regions. If you want to divide into 4 regions, A picks this, B picks this, C picks this, and D picks this. Divide all it, put 3 lines there. Therefore, number of lines are always 1 less than the number of kids that you have, that the distribution that you want to do. All right, number of distributions. I hope all of you got this point. Now listen to me. Let's do one by one. Let's do one by one these cut questions. Let's go to the first question, friends. Let's go to the first question. So what is that? A plus B plus C is equal to 12. A plus B plus C is equal to 12. Why 12? Because author said that why don't you distribute 12 marbles? All right, 5 was an example to illustrate this point. This is how you write. All right, this is how you write. Okay, now this can also be written as, because 5 plus 2, very similar to the grid problem. Grid problem and this problem can be, all right, shortest root problem and this problem are very analogous. All right, very, very analogous here. So what I meant, so 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. Therefore, you can write this as 7C2, or you can also write this as 7C5. Either ways, it is fine. You can write this as 7C2, or you can write this as 7C5. Why? Because the 5 and 2 are adding up to this particular number. Therefore, it can be written as NCR, or it can be written like this. But the fact of the matter is, all right, this is the concept of n factorial by p factorial q factorial. But p plus q is adding up to n. Therefore, you can write it as NCR format. Therefore, you can write it as NCR format. Okay, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, because some of these points are important there. Keep that in mind. Let's come back to this. A plus B plus C is equal to 12. So already a child may or may not get, which means can A get 0? Yes, that condition is important. B also can get 0. C also can get 0. The concept that you discussed works if they are allowed to give 0. If they are not allowed to give 0, this concept what you discussed does not work. Don't worry, I will brief that in the next question. When I do my second question, I will explain that. Okay, here A plus B plus C is equal to 12. That's what you are writing, guys. Last 10-15 minutes, pay attention. Pay attention clearly. A plus B plus C is equal to 12. A can be given minimum 0. B also can be given 0. That's what they said. A child may or may not receive a marble. They all can be given 0. Now, this condition of 0 level is important. They should be willing to give 0. That's when you say that, okay, 12M. This is M here. This 12 I will take it as M's. These 2 pluses I will take it as N. These 2 pluses I will take it as N. 2 plus means 2 lines are required. 2 lines are easy to remember. If you are seeing 2 plus, take it as N there. So how many M's here, friends? 12M. How many N's here? 2N. Alright, 2N means 2 lines. Alright, if ABC are 3 groups, just draw 2 lines between them. It gets split into 3 groups there. 2N. So what is the answer therefore? 14 factorial divided by 12 factorial and 2 factorial. 12 for 12 and 2 factorial. Therefore, you will say that the answer is nothing but 91. Okay, you can also write this as 14C2, no problem. Or you can also write this as 14C12, no problem. Alright, the answer finally becomes what? 91. Which form you solve does not matter to me. This is the crux of the matter. Well, this is the crux of the matter. Now listen, let's go to the second one. Each child receive at least 1 marble. Second one. Each child should receive at least one marble. Give me a moment. What is this? Already each child should receive one marble means what? Now this is the condition. A plus B plus C is equal to 12, of which A should get minimum 1, B should get minimum 1, C should get minimum 1, of which A should get minimum 1, B should get minimum 1, and C should get minimum 1. Why? Because there are 12 marbles. But the point here is this condition, the concept what you have, what you read works only if it is brought down to the position of 0. You got to bring it down to the position of 0, otherwise this concept does not work. Good. So what do you do here? You have anyway 12 similar marbles, right? 12 marbles are similar. All these 12 marbles are similar. Why don't you call A and give one? Now A is sitting in front of you. Assume that A, B, C are the three kids sitting right in front of you. Call A, say that okay, take one, yeah, because already you can't go empty handed. Author said that minimum one you should take. Already you should not go empty handed. If you go empty handed, then I will have a problem. You take one, okay? So you give one to A. Call B, give one. Call C, give one. Call A, give one. Call B, give one. And call C also give one. So how many are done now? Three are done. Three of them are out. Because one you gave. Which one you give does not matter because they are anyway similar. They're all anyway similar marbles. Therefore, you gave three out. So therefore, now the revised condition. So therefore, everybody is sitting with one marble. There is no danger that anybody would return empty-handed. Absolutely. How many marbles are left now? 9. Hey, can I give all 9 to A and 0 here, 0 here? You can. You can, because the others are already holding one marble each. Nobody would return empty handed. Don't worry. Therefore, can I do this 0 now? Yes, this 0 business will work now. This business of 0 will work. Therefore, what now? The revised condition, zeros. The revised condition, zeros. Therefore, now technically you work on this question. Because you cannot use this concept unless you bring it down to the position of 0. Bring it down to the position of 0. You gave 1 1 1 because they're all similar. Therefore, that activity is done in one way. You can't say that giving 1 to A and giving 1 to B and giving 1 to C, I will do it in 100 ways. Which are those 100 ways? It's only one way because marbles are same. Had they been different, sure, you can do it in many ways. Because they are same, it is done in just one way, guys. That's done in one way. Therefore, you get it one way, done. So therefore, multiply this much more. Therefore, this can be done in how many ways? 9 M's you have. 9 marbles you have. How many plus signs? That is nothing but the n. Therefore, 2 n's you have. 9 plus 2, 9 m's and this. How many words can be formed? You are saying that 11 factorial divided by 9 factorial, 2 factorial. Right now, that's what you form here. Therefore, this can be written as 11c2 as well. 11c2 as well. Or you can also call it as 55. Whichever way you want to call it. 55 ways you can do this particular activity. Okay, look at the third one now. Look at the third one. You do it yourself. Do it yourself. Quickly do it yourself. Third one. Third one. Take him 1 minute. Do it yourself. Another 10-15 minutes. We'll discuss one more concept after this. Yeah, done. Very good. Okay. Child A receives at least 2 marbles. Child B receives at least 2 marbles. 3 marbles. So what is given here? A receives at least 2, B receives 3. What about C? No minima. Minima is 0. So therefore, this time you are trying to say that okay, A, B, C. A plus B plus C. Is 12 identical marbles, 12, out of which A should get minimum 2, B should get minimum 3. What about C? No condition, which means you can give 0 as well, because if there is anything other than that, the author would have said this to us. But the point is, I can't apply the concept because there are 2's and 3's here. Therefore, what? You call A, hand over 2 to him. You say that, okay, please take 2 here, because otherwise I will have a problem. You please take 2 here. Okay, then call B, hand over 3 to him. Hand over 3 to him. See, nothing, no need. Now 3, hand over 3. So how many are done? Therefore 5. One way only. It's so far the activity is done in one way. Call A, give any 2 because it does not matter, because all are identical. All 12 are identical. Call B, give 3 because all are identical. How many are left now? 7 are left. 7 are left. What is that you are trying to say? Therefore, A plus B plus C is equal to 7. Now A can be given 0. Now B can be given 0. Now C can be given 0. Now A and B all it now, because if you give all 7 to C, there is no problem, because you already give 2 to A and 3 to B. There is absolutely no problem. Can I have a case of 7 0 0? Absolutely, you can have this case. No issues on this now. Okay, therefore all it now, this is fine. You brought it to the level of 0. Because you brought it to the level of 0, now you can apply this particular concept. Therefore, you have 7 m's. These are the m's here, 7 m's and 2n. 2n. Therefore, your answer is nothing but 9c2. That is 7 factorial by, you can write it 7 factorial is 9 factorial by 7 factorial and 2 factorial. I hope all of you got this idea. You can explore on these ideas. Look, what I'm trying to do is I'm ensuring that your fundamentals are clear, right? In these lectures, I'm making sure that your fundamentals are clear. That doesn't mean that that is the end all. That's a beginning point of this, right? No, that's not the end all. So knowing this, you got to explore further, right? You got to go to the next levels of questions, etc. But I'm making sure that your fundamentals are crystal clear with these lectures. Fair enough, guys. Let's go further. Let's go further here. Let's go further. Let's do one more. Let's explore one or two concepts. Then we will close it. Maybe another two concepts if you have 10 minutes. Okay. In how many ways 3 addressed envelopes can be posted in 5 different post boxes kept in a row at the head post office? In the sense, you went to a post office. I'm not sure how many of you can connect with this because we're in the electronic mails. So therefore, you really went to the post office or not. So I don't know. I'll let know. Some of you might have gone. Some of you might not have. I'm not sure about this. If you have not gone, definitely this question is a little difficult for you to understand because post office, post box, all looks aliens to you. But you have seen it. It's pretty simple, straightforward question. What is that you are trying to say? All right, how many ways 3 addressed envelopes can be posted in 5 different post boxes? Okay, to make it better, let's change these words. 3 different post boxes, 5 different addressed envelopes, just to make it ensure better. Otherwise, it looks like, hey, I have less letters and more boxes. Fine, more letters, you take it, no problem. Alright, in how many ways 5 addressed envelopes can be posted in 3 different post boxes kept in front of a head post? 3 different. Alright, now say that, okay, there is different. It is little small. There is a little bigger one, all right, and there is a huge one, something like this, or color wise it is different, whatever, and just ensure that they look little different. They look little different. This is the post box 1. Like this is post box number 1, this is post box number 2, this is post box number 3. All right, this is post box number 3. Okay, in how many ways 5 different 5 address letter? Address means naturally there are different address that you have written there. All right, 5 differently addressed envelopes. 3 you have written it to 5 different people. All it can be posted in 3 different post boxes kept in a row. All it kept in a row, just like it is kept like this. Good. So now you look at the first letter, friends. First letter can be posted in 3 ways, because either you can put in the box number 1 or the box number 2 or the box number 3. Already you can put the first letter in any of the boxes. Fair enough. What about the second letter? Any of the 3 boxes. What about the third letter? Any of the 3 boxes. Why? Because post box is made to hold multiple letters. You can't say that because I kept the first letter in the first box, oh, now the second letter cannot go in the first box. No, it is meant to take multiple letters. That's what the repetition is. See, nowhere there is a word of repetition, but based on the situation, you need to understand that yes, I should repeat, which implies, can I post all 5 letters in one single post box? Why not? You can do that. You can do that. All right, you can do that. Therefore, the first letter independent or second letter independent of the first letter, you can still post it in 3 ways. Your choice. You want to put in the box 1 or box 2, box 3. It's your choice. You don't have to remember where do you post your first letter. Your choice. You can post anywhere. What about the fourth letter? 3 ways. Yeah, what about the fifth letter? That's also 3 ways. Therefore, 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. Therefore, you say that my answer is 3 power 5. My answer is 3 power 5. Perfect. All right, that's right. All right, 3 power 5. My answer is perfect. All right. Okay. What if I make it 3 and 5 here, friends? What would have been your answer had I changed it to 3 and 5? So now the earlier answer is 3 power 5. That's right. All right, that's 243. Done. Okay. What if I change it to 3 addressed envelopes? Can be posted. How many ways 3 differently addressed envelopes can be posted in 5 different post boxes? All right, there is a post box number 4 and there is a post box number 5. And there is a post box number 5. How many ways you could do this now? Answer this quickly. Answer this. Very good. All right. Yeah, that's right. First letter can be posted in 5 ways. Second letter, 5 ways. Third letter, 5 ways. Therefore, you say that 5 into 5 into 5. 5 cube. All right, which is nothing but 125. That's right. Perfect. Yeah, what about the second question? Answer the second question, everybody. Everybody answer the second question. In how many ways 3 different rings can be worn on the 5 fingers of a hand? You stretched out 5 fingers of one hand, let's say. You stretched out 5 fingers of one hand. How many ways you think you can wear 3 different rings on 5 fingers of a hand? 3 different rings on 5 fingers of a hand. 3 different rings on 5 fingers of a hand. 5 fingers of a hand. Good. All right. First ring can be worn on any of the 5 fingers. Second ring, any of the 5 fingers. Third ring, you can put any of the 5 fingers. 5 into 5 into 5, 125. You may wonder, okay, first ring, any of the 5 fingers is fine, because no law, nothing's nowhere in the nowhere on the planet Earth they say that if you wear more than one ring, or one ring on a finger will come and cut your finger. No, nothing like that. Hey, can I wear all 3 rings on one single finger? You can wear. You can wear. All right, you might have noticed this in some weddings, etc. You might have noticed it. Right now, that's possible. All right, that's not that already impossible activity. That's possible, and that is seen also. All right, now these days you go for some weddings, engagements, etc. There is one ring, all right, no, meant for a fiance or whatever. Rest of the one finger. Rest of the fingers is all right now for anybody and everybody. All right, in the sense like they can gift it. But point is they can gift it. They gift it, and they naturally they want it to be captured. When they give a ring, they naturally want it to be captured in the camera, all right, in the video. So therefore they generally put it there. Put it all right now. Just pretend to put it there. All right, at least that much they'll do. Something like that. Therefore 5 into 5 into 5, 125. So again, the repetition is allowed. You need to understand practically that okay, more than one ring can be worn on a finger. Therefore, the repetition is allowed. First ring can be worn on any of the 5 fingers. Second ring, any of the 5 fingers. But the point is, 125 is a wrong answer. All right, answer will be little higher than this. What's the difference here? Same 3 and 5 are used here. Same 3 and 5 are used here. You said the first answer is 125. If I change it to 3 addressed envelopes, 5 different post boxes, it is 125. 5 cube. Perfect. All right, this is 5 cube. Now I'm saying that here it is not 5 cube. It is more than 5 cube. Yeah, why? All right, now look at this. This is unseen. That's what the point I wanted to make. All right, it's the same thing. This is unseen. All right, this is unseen. That is nothing but this is allocation. You just have to allocate. You just have to put that box there. You can't say that, hey, postman, please come and open this particular post box. I want to see what is the orientation of my letter. Is it standing vertically out there, or slanting onto that particular box, or is it fell down properly horizontally, or whatever the slanting angle I want to see? No, you don't do all that. It's unseen. All right, opaque. Once it goes inside, it is done. All right, it is done. So unseen, or just allocate for this letter which box you want to put it there. That's all you got to decide. However, when you wear the rings, now listen, if there is a finger, assume that this is one of the fingers you are talking about. All right, now this is the finger, let's say. All right, this is the finger. All right, on this particular finger, when you wear, all right, now 3 rings. All right, this is one of the fingers I'm talking, guys. When you wear 3 rings, let's assume that okay, the rings are all right now. When you wear 3 rings, assume the rings are all right now red. All right, red, blue, and green. Let's assume that these are the colors. Point here is: are you putting green blue closer? Are you putting the blue ring closer to your hand? Closer to the palm of your hand. This is the palm of your hand. Are you putting the green one after this, or the red one after this? And then finally you may say that I'm putting the red one after this. Now other fellow may say that no, yeah, I will get red here and blue here. Fine, that is also fine. It is seen. Alright, when you put it on the finger, it is seen. Alright, it is seen. Therefore, how do you do this particular question? Answer will be higher. Therefore, all of you understood this, I guess. Alright, the arrangement can be seen. You can't say that no, I will only allocate finger for a ring. Why allocate? There is a pattern to wear as well. Alright, different things. If you allocate only one finger and want to wear all 3 rings, that itself you can do in 3 factorial ways. Assume that you decided I will put all 3 rings on the index finger. You decided index finger is where I'm going to put. On the index finger, you can put 3 different colored rings in 3 factorial ways. 6 ways you can wear. Why you are saying that it is one way? Alright, it can be done in 6 ways. Therefore, I'm saying that my answer is going to be more than 125. Let's understand how much more than 125 therefore. Alright, how much more than 125? Let's understand this. What is the answer there? See, alright, now let's take a schematic diagram. Assume that these are the fingers of a hand. It's a pretty bad diagram. Yeah, understand this. Just quickly. All right, now this line diagram I've drawn. 5 fingers of a hand. There is a hand. These are 5 fingers of a hand. These are 5 fingers of a hand. The first ring, let us say that there is a red ring, blue ring, and yellow ring. A red ring, blue ring, and a green ring. Okay, red ring. Red ring can be put anywhere on the 5 fingers. You put wherever you want. There are 5 fingers here. All right, now assume that. All right, now this is thumb. All right, thumb. This is the index finger. All right, this is the middle finger. All right, and then this is the and this what is that you call it? I don't know. All right, no. So whatever is that. All right, no. So the other finger, and the last one is the small finger. You call it as a small finger. Index finger. You call it what? All right, you call it as this is for. Let's say ring finger. Sorry, that's a ring finger. Right? That's where you wear the ring. Absolutely, this is the ring finger. And there's a ring finger. Assume that. All right, now TIMRS. These are the names of the fingers. Hey, where do you keep the red one? You keep wherever you want. Assume that okay. So first you decided the red one. You can put it in 5 ways. Assume I kept it on the middle finger. You kept the red ring on the middle finger. Great. Hey, what about the blue one, guys? What about the blue one? Blue one can be worn in 6 ways. You may wonder how 6 ways will come. Let's understand this. 6 ways because the blue one 6 ways. I can wear it anywhere on this finger. I can wear anywhere on this finger second, anywhere on this finger third, anywhere on this finger 4. But here either I can wear above or I can wear below. You may wonder how I can wear below. You remove the red finger, put it below, and then put it back the red finger. What is the problem? Because you made a mistake. First you wore the red finger, then you have a red ring, then you said that okay, oh it's a blue, I need to go there. So up or down. Therefore that can be done in 6 ways. Now put the number of ticks there. 6 ticks are there. 6 ticks are there. It can be done in 6 ways. And finally you decided that okay, yeah, the blue finger I will keep it here. I decided to keep it here, the blue finger. Fair enough, no problem. Yeah, what about the green finger? Therefore, what about the green ring? Sorry, all right, blue ring is 6 ways. What about the green ring? All right, green ring. Check these marks here. Green ring. I'm going for the green ring now. Let's do the green ring. So how many ways you can do the green ring? Anywhere on this finger 1, anywhere on this finger 2, anywhere on this finger 3. Here above or below. All right, therefore that is 5. Here also above or below. So how many there? Therefore 7. All right, that becomes your answer, my friend. That becomes your answer. That becomes your answer. Therefore it becomes 210. Here it is 5 cube. Here it is not 5 cube. Instead it is going to be 5 into 6 into 7, which becomes 210. All right, which would essentially become 210. Okay, that's about this repetition part. We'll do one last part here, dearrangement. 5 more minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and we are done with that. Let's do one last part. That's a dearrangement. Let me explain what is dearrangement. Assume that, all right, let's go back to the same thing. Let's go back to the envelopes, the addressed envelopes and the letters. Let's put it like this. There is an envelope 1, there is an envelope 2, and there is an envelope 3. All right, let's assume that there are 3 envelopes there. All right, let me take 2 envelopes to start with. 2 envelopes. All right, now letter number 1 is supposed to go into envelope 1. Letter number 2 is supposed to go into envelope 2. This is the right way of doing this. This is the right way of doing this. But if you put 2 here and 1 here, this is called as dearrangement. This is called as dearrangement. Right? Dearrangement means what? None of the letters will go into the rightly addressed envelope. See, employee 1, E1 is the employee 1. In the envelope 1, a letter is written to employee 1. Or with his name, it is a salutation. With his name, it is written. So then 1 should go there, 1 should technically go there, and 2 should technically go here. What is that's how it should go. But what is dearrangement? The clerk intentionally made a mistake. He wanted to create a chaos in the company. Let's say chaos. So what he does, already he puts 2 for 1 and 1 for 2. Alright, now there is a chaos here. All right, now therefore this is called as the dearrangement. This is called as dearrangement. Is this the only way to dearrange? Yes. If there are 2 employees, 2 envelopes, and 2 letters, there is only one way to dearrange it. One way to dearrange it. Okay. Yeah, what if there are 3? Let's take it as 3. If I have E1, I have E2, and you have E3. Let's say that. What if there are 3? What is the dearrangement? Let's check. All right, 1 is supposed to be going here. Letter 1, letter to the person 1 should go into envelope 1. Person 2 should go here. 3 should go here. That's the right way of doing it. Yeah, what is dearrangement here? Let's assume that it goes something like this. All right, it goes something like this. All right, now so 3 goes here, and 1 goes here, and 2 goes here. Thorough confusion. None of the employees will get the rightly addressed letter. Think about it. All right, now 1, 2, 3 should go there. Absolutely. Envelope number 1, letter 3, all right, person 3's letter is going. In the second envelope, 1 is going. In the third envelope, 2 is going. Thorough confusion. None of them will get the rightly addressed letter. None of them. Point is, none of them will get the rightly addressed letter. That's a dearrangement. That's a dearrangement. All right. That's a dearrangement. Okay. Let's take all it another one. Is this the only way? No. All it is the only way. No. 2 goes here. 1, all it now 2 goes here, 3 goes here, and 1 goes here. Is this the dearrangement? Yes. None of them are getting the rightly addressed letter. None of them are getting the rightly addressed letter. These are the only 2 arrangements. You may say that, hey, what about this? If I write 1 here and 3 here and 2 here, well, this is not this is a wrong arrangement, because 1, 2, 3 is what I want. But what you wrote here, 1, 3, 2 you wrote here. Is it wrong? Yes, it is wrong. All right, it is wrong, but it is not thoroughly wrong. Thoroughly wrong is what? None of them will get the rightly addressed letter. It's not thoroughly wrong. It is wrong. Why it is not thoroughly wrong? Because 1 is getting 1. That is not thoroughly wrong. 1 is getting 1. The other 2 are not getting. Other 2 numbers are getting interchanged. Therefore, I am not talking about that. All right, no, that is rearrangement. Rearrange means what? Okay, it's in place. All right, no, so in rearrange means 1, 3, 2 will qualify under rearrangement. Rearrangement. Okay, 2 here, 3 here, and 1 here will qualify under rearrangement. Why? Because 2 is going in the rightly addressed envelope. Here, 1 is going into the rightly addressed envelope. Similarly, 3 here, 2 here, and 1 here is a rearrangement. Why? Because this 2 is fine. See, what is dearrangement? These 2 cases. What is dearrangement? This case. This case. All right, now likewise. So how do I write for a dearrangement? Therefore, now remember, dearrangement. Okay, where it comes from? It comes from the principle of inclusion exclusion. Simple way to prove this is the principle of inclusion exclusion. By using that principle, we'll get the proof for this. I'm not getting into that. How to write the dearrangement for n things. All right, now here 2 envelopes. Dearrangement for 2. 3 envelopes. Dearrangement for 3. What is dearrangement? None of the letters will go into the rightly addressed envelope. All right, none of them will get get the rightly addressed letter. So that is called as the dearrangement. What is dearrangement for n? It looks like this, friends. N factorial by 2 factorial. Hey, why 2 factorial? Why not n factorial by 1 factorial? No, dearrangement is possible only when two things are there. Therefore, no writing 0 factorial, 1 factorial. What is n? Totally n. Assume the dearrangement for n is n factorial by 2 factorial minus alternate. Always the principle of inclusion exclusion as plus minus, include exclude, include exclude. Include is plus, exclude is minus. Alright, n factorial by 2 factorial, then n factorial by 3 factorial plus n factorial by 4 factorial. Likewise, finally, based on order even, plus or minus. Alright, now what is the dearrangement? Plus or minus raised to power n, because last term will either have a positive sign or negative sign, with n factorial by n factorial. So don't bother about this plus or minus n raised to power n. Just write positive, negative, positive, negative. That will take care. Alright, that would take care. Okay, let's understand. Hey, what is dearrangement for 2 therefore? What is dearrangement for 2? Dearrangement for 2 would be 2 factorial by 2 factorial. Stop it. Don't write 2 factorial by 3 factorial. That becomes a fraction, right? You stop it when you write n factorial by n factorial. Please stop it. Don't try to write further from there. Okay, that's it. 2, what is 2 factorial by 2 factorial, friends? 1. That's what I wrote there. Dearrangement for 2 objects is 1. There is only one way to do this. All right. Hey, what about dearrangement for 3? Dearrangement for 3 is 3 factorial by 2 factorial minus 3 factorial by 3 factorial. Stop it. When you write 3 factorial by 3 factorial, stop it. What is 3 factorial by 2 factorial? 2 minus. What is 3 factorial by 3 factorial? 1. What is sorry, this is 3. What is 3 factorial by 2 factorial? 3. 3 minus 1. Therefore, what is the result here? 2 ways. That's what I explained it here. These are the 2 ways. Well, these are the 2 ways. Hey, what about the dearrangement for 4? Dearrangement for 4 is 4 factorial by 2 factorial minus 4 factorial by 3 factorial plus 4 factorial by 4 factorial. Stop it. The result becomes 9. Just add up these now values here. The result becomes 9. I hope all of you got the understanding of dearrangement. We'll do a couple of questions. We'll do a couple of questions and then we'll call it. We'll stop it so that you will understand the meaning of this. Okay, here we go. Take this question, friends. Last few minutes, we'll finish. Right? None of them receive. What is what I should do here? Dearrangement for 5. Alright, this is nothing but dearrangement for 5 because there are 5 address letters to be posted to 5 employees who reside in 5 different cities, 5 places of a city, 5 different places of a city. So naturally you wrote the address on the envelope, but then already you wanted to create a thorough chaos here. None of the employees receive the correctly addressed letter, which means what? There is a thorough confusion. Nobody receives the rightly addressed letter. Nothing but dearrangement. What is dearrangement for 5? 5 factorial divided by 2 factorial, minus 5 factorial by 3 factorial plus 5 factorial by 4 factorial minus 5 factorial by 5 factorial. Please simplify. The result would become 44. The result would become 44. Right? Dearrangement for 5 is 44. Therefore, this confusion can be created in 44 ways. Alright, 44 ways you can post it so that none of them will receive the rightly addressed letter. None of them will receive the rightly addressed letter. Okay, here we go. Another one. Another one. Beautiful question. I think this was IFT question if I'm not wrong. Similar to that. IFT used a number 5. I just used 6 here. Done? You wrote it? Good. Okay, in how many ways 6 address letters can be posted to 6 employees? So that exactly half of them means what? 3 of them. Basically 3 of them. Exactly 3 of them receive the correctly addressed letter. In the sense, you said that, okay, for 3 fellows, I will send the correct letters. I will create a confusion among the remaining 3 fellows. That's the idea here. Alright, that's the idea here. Good, 6 fellows are there. There are 6 fellows. Alright, now assume that A, B, C, D, whatever. These names are A, B, C, D, E, F. First, decide which 3 fellows should get the correct letter and where you want to create a confusion, among whom you want to create a confusion, to whom you want to give a clarity. That you decide first. All right, that you have to decide first. Which 3 fellows? Decide which 3 fellows there should be a clarity. Rightly addressed letter. Rightly addressed letter. Rightly addressed and then wrongly addressed. Right ones and the wrong ones. Wrong ones is where you are doing the dearrangement. Right now, right ones. First, decide those 3 right ones, friends. Those 3 right ones can be decided in 63 ways. Decide which three fellows should get the rightly addressed letter. Which 3 people should get. Fine, 3 fellows. Already you understood that, okay, whichever the 3 people are getting the rightly addressed letter. Now, the remaining 3 is nothing but the dearrangement for 3. all right, you got to doing the dearrangement for the remaining 3. So therefore you are doing dearrangement for 3 here. All right, now 6C3, they got the right letters. Therefore the remaining 3, I have to create a confusion. What is the dearrangement for 3? 2 ways. That's what you said. Hey, what is 6C3? All right, 6C3 is nothing but 20 ways. All right, 6C3 is nothing but, what is 6C3? 6 into 5 into 4 divided by 3 into 2. All right, now therefore that's nothing but 20 ways. Therefore 20 into 2. Now you are saying that I can do this posting in 40 ways. I can do this posting in 40 ways. All right, friends. I tried to cover as much as possible in the 4 hours time. All right, I spent 2 hours in the previous lecture, and here in this lecture I spent about another 2 hours. I tried to give as much of clarity as I could, all right, with respect to this counting. But don't stop here. That's a beginning. All right, this is the beginning. I want you to go back and then I'll figure out that you'd solve about 50, 60 odd questions of various varieties. I'm sure some of these concepts are going to help you there. So solve them at various difficulty levels as well. So here lies your work of doing about 50 odd questions there, about 5 to 6 dozen questions you guys have to consider and do it. If you can do that, all right, that will expose you to the various difficulty levels and all across the varieties, the depth, etc. So if you can do that, all right, definitely, all right, now this all right, now this is you are going to get pretty simple questions on this particular chapter. I'm sure you will appreciate and you'll be able to do them. Here we go. I will see you in my next lecture. All right, keep working. There are a few more days to exam. Keep working. I will see you in the next lecture. Bye till then, and all of you stay blessed.